Chapter 1101. Chapter 1101. Not a scapegoat. Qin Yun reluctantly smiled at Xian Xian and said, "Senior, I will take my leave." Just as he was about to leave, Xian Xian jumped over and blocked his path. "Wait, didn't you just say that you can refine a floating island for me and only charge me for the materials?" Xian Xian asked. "Mm." Qin Yun nodded. Shui Jiuming has been startled by Qin Yun's actions. Shui Clan's clan chief, Xian Xian's third brother, was actually captured by Qin Yun. Shui Jiuming finds this hard to believe. He immediately realized that Qin Yun must have a very powerful magic tool. Xian Xian said with smile, "Then help me refine one. It should be very cheap, right? 10 billion star coins." Qin Yun glanced at Shui Jiuming and said, 10 billion? Why don't you just rob a bank? It is too expensive. Is it really worth that much? Xian Xian's smile disappeared as she pinched Shui Jiuming's waist. Qin Yun really did not expect that Xian Xian would still be so naughty despite her age. The materials are only worth that much. This is not including the labor cost. Qin Yun said with sigh, "A bit less." Xian Xian said, 9 billion. Xian Xian lightly groaned and said, "I told you to reduce it a bit, and you really reduced it a bit? Only 100 million. 5 billion. Help me refine a floating island." Qin Yun shook his head and said with sigh, "Then I will have to pay 5 billion myself to buy the materials. You will have to wait until I earn 5 billion star coins. It will take a very long time." Xian Xian nudged Shui Jiuming and said in low voice, "He is your college's teacher. You should help him haggle. Teacher Qin, can you give me face and reduce the price a bit?" Shui Jiuming felt somewhat embarrassed and said with smile, "He is not good at haggling." "All right, 8 billion, Qin Yun said. "Hey, Teacher Qin, Jiuming is the dean of Great Ancient College. Is his face only worth 100 million star coins?" Xian Xian very unhappily said, "It is only because of the dean that I am willing to help you refine one. If it was someone else, even if they gave me 20 billion star coins, it would still depend on my mood." Qin Yun said, looking at his appearance, "It is impossible for it to be any less." Xian Xian, "What do you want a floating island for?" "My small island is very good," Shui Jiuming advised. "Don't be impulsive, otherwise you might regret buying it." From Shui Jiuming's expression, it was clear that he was the one who paid for the star coins. Although Xian Xian is an old granny, she is still very childish. She stamped her feet and said, "I like it, I want to buy it. You must buy it for me." Shui Jiuming quickly said, all right, I will buy it for you. Mr. Qin, please reduce it a little more." 7 billion, Qin Yun said. "You," Xian Xian glared at Qin Yun. "You miser, can't you be a bit more straightforward and just give us 2 to 3 billion? The reason why I'm willing to refine it for 10 billion is all because of the two seniors. As for others, even if you give me 20 billion, I won't bother to do it." Qin Yun said, "All right, I will go take a look and see if it is worth it or not." Shui Jiuming said. In fact, to Qin Yun, it would only take him 2 to 3 days to refine a floating island. He didn't need to expend many materials. He wanted to scam wealthy people who didn't know the ropes. Shui Jiuming is the dean and Xian Xian is the youngest daughter of Nether sect leader. They are both overflowing with wealth. Qin Yun feels that he is being very conscientious by only asking for 10 billion. Not long after, Shui Jiuming and Xian Xian arrived above the floating island on Qin Yun's flying disc. Xian Xian also wants the flying disc, but seeing that Qin Yun is asking for 2 billion, she dispelled that idea. After landing on the floating island, Xian Xian and Shui Jiuming exclaim in admiration because they can see the beautiful scenery of the holy lake and its shore. This floating island can be moved and raised. Qin Yun said again, "Is this little girl your student? She looks very charming." Xian Xian ran over to Shui Weiwei and caressed her lovely face. "Weiwei, this is Dean Shui Jiuming. This is Senior Xian Xian." Qin Yun said, Dean." Shui Weiwei yelled in shock. "Shui Jiuming is a very important person to her." "Little girl, did you learn anything from this teacher? How about you follow me?" I am a sixth tribulation half immortal, and also an elder of great ancient college's education pagoda. Xian Xin said to Shui Weiwei with smile. Qin Yin cursed Xian Xin in low voice. She is actually trying to poach people in front of him. Teacher is very good to me. He made me very strong and even gave me toys. Shui Weiwei said in low voice. She is very happy controlling those wooden puppets. Mr. Qin, I can see that you're quite good at this. I thought that you only know how to refine small things, but I did not expect you to be so good at teaching students. Xian Xin said with smile. Qin Yin only smiled and said, Dean, Senior Xian Xin, what do you think of this floating island? Shui Jiuming nodded and said, Very good. It is indeed much better than my small island. 9. 5 billion star coins, right? Qin Yin said with smile. Dean, you are mistaken. It is 9. 7 billion star coins. I am not mistaken. You said 9. 5 billion star coins. Shui Jiuming said with embarrassed smile. All right then, 9. 5 billion. Qin Yin took out his star coin card. Shui Jiuming reluctantly transferred 9. 5 billion star coins to Qin Yin. Qin Yin can already see that Shui Jiuming is the one paying for this. Xian Xin patted Shui Jiuming's shoulder and said, Jiuming, this amount of star coins is not much to you, right? It's all right. Shui Jiuming said with forced smile. Shui Weiwei is secretly apprehensive seeing this scene. She did not expect this floating island to be worth more than 10 billion star coins. She also finds it very funny because the dean of Great Ancient College is actually very afraid of his wife. Senior Xian Xin, do you think I can become a disciple of Nether Sect in the future? Qin Yin suddenly asked. You can't, Xian Xin said with smile. You are such a black-hearted brat. Don't even think about becoming a disciple of my Nether Sect. Qin Yin laughed and said. Originally, he wanted to ask about Nether Sect leader, but he recalled that Xian Xin said that she has not seen her father for a long time, so he decided not to ask. Teacher Qin, you family's clan convention will begin in a few days. Do you want to go? Shui Jiuming asked. Jiuming, are you trying to get him killed? After second brother found out about his relationship with Yufeng, he thought of all kinds of ways to deal with him. Luckily, Shui Dai saved him. Bringing him to second brother's clan convention is not a good thing. Xian Xin said with smile. Moreover, because of his relationship with Shui Dai, big brother and third brother are also very unhappy. Xian Xin's big brother is the family head of Ming family, and Shui family is very fond of Shui Dai. This can be considered as a close relative marriage. Because of this, Qin Yin has some enmity with Ming family, Yu family, and Shui clan. Qin Yin looked at Shui Weiwei and said with smile, Senior Xian Xin, I can see that you are very fond of Weiwei. Why don't you take her to see the world? This little girl is very outstanding, but her family doesn't like her. She also wants to participate in Yu family's clan convention. Teacher, I won't go. I will stay here with you. Shui Weiwei lightly yelled. All right, I will take her with me. Xian Xin pulled Shui Weiwei and said with smile, Weiwei, it's fine. Your teacher wants to help me refine a floating island. He doesn't need you to accompany him. Qin Yin nodded at Shui Weiwei. Letting Shui Weiwei stay with Xian Xin and Shui Jiuming will make it so that Shui family people won't dare to look down on her in the future. It will also raise her status in the family. Xian Xin and Shui Jiuming also understand Qin Yin's intention. They are very much in favor of Qin Yin's method. Shui Weiwei said, Then I will go dress up. Then she happily returned to her room. Xian Xin said, Teacher Qin, lend me that flying disc. It will make it easier for me to bring Weiwei back later. Qin Yin took out the flying disc and said, Oh, that's right. Can I leave the Great Ancient College as I wish now? Of course, Xian Xin said. If we can't find out who destroyed the Great Ancient Plaza, there is no need to keep it sealed. Then I will leave the city first. I want to collect materials. Qin Yin said with smile. Qin Yin left the Great Ancient College. Just like last time, he left the Great Ancient City and went to a rather sturdy stone mountain. That is the main body of the floating island. The most important thing for the floating island is to refine pearls that can float. Qin Yun has recorded all the runes required for the pearls into the Gemini treasure mirror. Now he only needs to refine the pearls and then use the mirror to refine the pearls. Therefore, it will only take him 1 day to refine a floating island. Qin Yun finished refining a floating island outside the city and then returned to the great ancient college. Take advantage of this time to refine Yu Feng's blood phoenix, nether spear, and shield. Qin Yun took out the materials given to him by Yu Feng and 2 smelting furnaces. He let Yang Yang come out and let her spit out flame to smelt the materials. Then he used Golden Sun Brilliant Heaven Hammer to forge the materials. Qin Yun began forging the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear according to his own impression. These materials are all king-quality materials. There are also a few half-immortal materials. They are originally very difficult to smelt, but with Yang Yang's help, they are very fast. The flame Yang Yang spit out can quickly smelt the materials. When the materials were being burned, it could also make the materials have very strong fire resistance. Qin Yun tossed and turned for a day and finished forging the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. Although he did not carve any runes on it, it looks very exquisite. It is much better than Yu Feng's original spear. Then he forged a red shield. It looks like a fiery phoenix spreading its wings. It is very beautiful. Next is Shui Dai's chain. Qin Yun used special materials to refine long and short red chains. Since he received Shui Dai and Yu Feng star coins, he must earnestly forge. After tossing and turning for 3 days, Qin Yun finished 3 embryos. Now he only needs to carve runes. After resting and preparing to start carving runes, Shui Dai suddenly returned. Shui Dai is wearing luxurious red skirt and exquisite hair ornaments. It is clear that she is participating in some family convention. Teacher, Yu Feng asked me to come to you for help. She has run into some trouble. Shui Dai said. What kind of trouble? Qin Yun finds this somewhat funny. Is Yu family's clan convention starting? She is the holy maiden. How can she run into trouble in Yu family's clan convention? Don't tell me they're going to get engaged. Then they want me to be their shield. Shui Dai said with sigh. Yu Feng said that you repaired the Cloud Star Sword. Then Yu family patriarch made a move on the spot, and the Cloud Star Sword was destroyed. Those shameless bastards pushed all the blame on you. Then they blamed you for destroying the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and want to settle the score with you. When Qin Yun heard this, he scolded loudly. They broke it themselves. I will not take the blame for this. Shui Dai said in low voice, Teacher, you should run far away. Don't come back. Those bastards are too shameless. Chapter 1102. Chapter 1102. King Tool Showdown. Teacher, there are many elders of Yu family present at the clan convention. I think the Yu family is deliberately looking for trouble with you. If you really go there, you will fall into their trap. Shui Dai anxiously said. When the time comes, both my and Yu Feng's strength will be limited, and our Shui clan will not be able to help you. Qin Yun can naturally guess that Yu family wants to mess with him. If he doesn't explain this matter clearly, then Yu family will believe that he was the one who damaged the Cloud Star Sword. There will be many troubles in the future unless he leaves the central ancient city and never comes back. If he goes there, then Yu family will join hands with other people to suppress him. They might even force him to hand over the runes. Shui Dai is very worried about this. Shui Dai, quickly take me there. I will surely be fine. Qin Yun said with smile. I have seen this kind of thing many times. I want to see how those bastards plan to mess with me. Teacher, listen to me. Quickly run away. Although I pretended to be your lover, Yu family still won't let you off. If they don't get rid of you, they are worried that Yu Feng will truly be with you in the future. Shui Dai advised. How can I be with Yu Feng? Yu family is worrying too much. A woman like Yu Feng, whoever gets along with her will have a headache. Qin Yun cannot help but laugh. Teacher, I am afraid that you won't be able to return. Shui Dai pulled Qin Yun and flew to the sky. I will take you out of the city. Yu family's clan convention is being held in a large manner in the central ancient city. Shui Dai brought Qin Yun out of the great ancient college and flew towards the city gate. Shui Dai, you're going the wrong way. I will not leave the city. I want to explain things to those bastards. Qin Yun said, Don't worry about it. I will take you out of the city. It will be safer this way. Shui Dai pulled Qin Yun and began flying. Not long after, a group of people stopped them. They are wearing black armor. Apparently they are from Yu family. Moreover, there are 2 third tribulation half-immortals among them. Miss Shui Dai, we have been ordered to invite Teacher Qin to come with us. Where are you taking Teacher Qin? An old man asked with sneer. He looked at Qin Yun and asked, Is this guy Teacher Qin? He is. Qin Yun is very calm. All right, then come with us. The old man looked at Shui Dai and said, Miss Shui Dai, please don't make things difficult for us. Don't force us to use force. Shui Dai wanted to take action, but was stopped by Qin Yun. All right. Seeing that Qin Yun is determined to go, Shui Dai can only bring Qin Yun to the villa where the family convention will be held. At this time, it was evening. In a pleasant mountain villa in the central ancient city, there was a burst of lively sounds. There were many banquets set up on a square in the villa. Is your family's clan convention just eating and drinking? Qin Yun asked in low voice. Not really. There are still some transactions and such. In short, it will be held until tomorrow morning. Shui Dai said in low voice. Long Xiao them and Shui Xing have arrived Qin with them. Them Long, them back. Everyone is and our Xing are our Qin, Xie, and Xiao Hao. Xiao Hao, Xiao Gu Xiao, and Qin. Qin 1, Xiao Xiao, Chun Wu Yu, Xiao I An 1. Qin Yun looked down from the sky and saw many familiar faces. Su Xiaoba and Yi Yaoxue were here. Yu Feng, Shui Jioming, Xian Xin, Shui Wuya, and Shui Weiwei were next. Lu Hanshun is also with his elder. After seeing Qin Yun, Nangong Shuru recalled what Qin Yun said to her before. She also recalled that Qin Yun's attitude towards her is indeed different from other people. She is very respected in the great ancient college, but Qin Yun does not feel like paying attention to her. Qin Yun and Shui Dai landed in a spacious area in the middle. Many people saw Qin Yun and Shui Dai holding hands with their own eyes. They are all amazed and discussing in low voice. Shui Dai is very famous in great ancient college. Many people don't believe that she is with Qin Yun, but now he believed it. Yi Yaoxue and her teacher are sitting at the same table. Seeing Qin Yun and Shui Dai together, she realized that this is all an act. She also played this trick with Qin Yun before. Nangong Shuru and Gu Qiufei are also at her table. Qin Yun did not expect her to be Nangong Shuru's student. At Yu Feng's table, there is a tall and robust old man with pitch-black hair. He is the family head of Yu family, Yu Yongdai. Seeing Yu Yongdai stand up, everyone immediately quieted down. They know that there's a good show to watch. Shui Dai, come here, a red-robed old man shouted in cold voice. He is the Shui clan's clan head, the one who was captured by Qin Yun. He looked at Qin Yun with furious expression. Shui Dai is worried that Shui clan will make things difficult for Qin Yun, so she can only go over and see if she can secretly persuade her grandfather to help Qin Yun. Qin Yun, right? You damaged the Cloud Star Sword and Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. These are priceless treasures. How do you plan to compensate us? Yu Yongdai arrived in front of Qin Yun. His deep eyes flickered with cold light, and his voice is filled with might. Everyone knows that Yu family is making things difficult for Qin Yun. Qin Yun is very calm. Not only is he not afraid, he is even smiling. Shui Weiwei is sitting at the same table as Shui Jioming and Xian Xin. She is very worried about Qin Yun. Gu Qiufei is also sitting at the same table as Nangong Shuru. She is also very worried that Qin Yun will be captured by Yu family. Yi Yaoxue is actually very calm. She understands Qin Yun very well. Qin Yun can still smile in this kind of situation. It means that someone is going to run out of luck. The damage of the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and Cloud Star Sword has nothing to do with me, Qin Yun said. Yu Yongdai furiously shouted. If it is not you, then who is it? Yu Feng just said that you repaired the Cloud Star Sword and destroyed the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear with the Cloud Star Sword. He looked at Yu Feng and yelled, Yu Feng, come here. Yu Feng thought that Shui Dai would bring Qin Yun away. She did not expect that she would bring him here. Yu Feng walked over, pulled Yu Yongdai's arm and said in low voice, "Grandfather, let it go," Yu Yongdai said in cold voice. "We can't let it go like this. The Cloud Star Sword and the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear are both incomparably precious, but now they have been destroyed. We must make this brat compensate us." Qin Yun looked at Yufeng and said, "Yufeng, please tell me what happened at that time." "At that time, I used the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear to attack you. In a moment of desperation, you used the repaired Cloud Star Sword to block the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. Then the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear was destroyed." Yufeng said, "Did you hear that?" Yu Yongdai pointed at Qin Yun and said, "Everyone present, tell me, isn't this his fault?" Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, "When I was attacked by Yufeng, I would have been killed. I counterattacked in a moment of desperation. What's wrong with that? If you want to blame someone, you can only blame the fact that her Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is too weak. During a life and death battle, the other party's weapon was damaged. How can we ask the other party to compensate us? Moreover, the Cloud Star Sword was not damaged at that time. According to Shui Dai, it was damaged in your hands. Ha ha ha. You family's patriarch, you damaged the Cloud Star Sword yourself. And now you want to put the crime on my head? Truly shameless. Bastard, what did you say?" Yu Yongdai furiously said and raised his palm. "I am just a little martial emperor. You are a grand six tribulation half immortal. If you want to kill me, then come." Qin Yun calmly said with his hands behind his back. Many people have never seen Qin Yun before. They only thought that Qin Yun was very lucky. But now that they have personally seen him provoking Yu Yongdai, they cannot help but feel admiration in their hearts. "I admit that I damaged the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. I will compensate you. But you say that I damaged the Cloud Star Sword. I ask you to show proof. Can you prove that I damaged the Cloud Star Sword?" Qin Yun said with sneer, "The Cloud Star Sword is not a weapon. It is normal for a six tribulation half immortal like you to damage it." Yufeng said in low voice, "When the Cloud Star Sword was in my hands, it was in perfect condition." Qin Yun said with smile, "Yufeng, so you were saying that your grandfather deliberately framed me? You family actually held a clan assembly just to mess with me. You think too highly of me." Yu Yongdai is extremely furious. There are so many people watching. If he attacks a junior, it will be a bit shameful. Although no one will say anything, it will have a great impact on him. Moreover, he cannot clearly prove that the Cloud Star Sword was damaged by Qin Yun. Yu Yongdai thought that after Qin Yun arrived, he would be scared into admitting defeat. He did not expect that Qin Yun would be so unyielding. "The matter is very clear. I had no choice but to damage the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. The Cloud Star Sword has nothing to do with me." Qin Yun said again, "Since it's like this, I will not stay for long. Goodbye." "Wait," Yu Yongdai yelled. "You said you will compensate for the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. Is that right? How are you going to compensate? That is a king tool worth 20 billion star coins." Qin Yun cursed in his heart because Yufeng said that she spent 10 billion star coins to hire someone to refine it. Ha ha ha. That broken thing is actually worth 20 billion star coins? Are you guys too stupid? Or is your inscription master too black-hearted? Qin Yun loudly laughed. Everyone is apprehensive and secretly admired Qin Yun's courage. He actually dared to ridicule Nether Sect's inscription master. "Savage brat, you actually dared to make fun of our Nether Sect's inscription master," Yu Yongdai furiously said. "If not for an ancient king tool like the Cloud Star Sword, it would have been impossible to destroy the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. Do you really think that just because you can destroy the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear, it means that you are very strong?" After speaking, he took out the damaged Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and Cloud Star Sword. "The tip of the Cloud Star Sword is broken," Qin Yun said with smile. "I am untalented. I just finished refining the embryo of the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. I did not carve any runes on it. But even so, I dare say that the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear I refined can destroy all the king tools here. If anyone is not convinced, they can compete with the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear I refined." Yufeng is somewhat amazed. She did not expect that Qin Yun has already refined an embryo. "I refined the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. If it is damaged by someone's king tool, my floating island will be given to that person." Qin Yun finished speaking and took out the blood phoenix nether spear he refined. Chapter 1103. Chapter 1103. A small show of skill Yu Feng and Shui Dai thought that Qin Yun would need a lot of time to refine it, but now it seems that he has finished it in just a few days. Yu Yongdai jumped in fright when he saw the blood phoenix nether spear in Qin Yun's hand. From the outside, Qin Yun's blood phoenix nether spear seems to be even better. Others also looked at the beautiful blood phoenix nether spear flickering with light and secretly praised. Family head you said that the blood phoenix nether spear you damaged is worth 20 billion star coins, right? Then now, please take out a king tool worth 50 billion star coins and compete with me. Let's see how much the king tool I refined is worth. Qin Yun said with sneer. To be honest, that blood phoenix nether spear was worth at most 200 million star coins. Yu Feng was stupid. She was cheated. Yu Yongdai doesn't know anything about king tools, so he was intimidated by Qin Yun's blood phoenix nether spear. He looked at the people behind him. A gray-robed old man slowly stood up and walked toward Qin Yun. His face is filled with anger. Yu Feng's blood phoenix nether spear was refined by me. You said that it is trash. You are insulting me. Yu Shunbing. Hearing the name Yu Shunbing, all the Dark Assembly's people are emotionally moved. Even Holy Assembly's people cried out in alarm in low voice. They stood up one after another to look at Yu Shunbing. Nether Sect's Yu Shunbing is one of the 5 great inscription masters of the Dark Assembly. Even our Holy Assembly's inscription masters often mention him. Nan Gongshiru also stood up and looked at the gray-robed old man with reverence in her eyes. What Yu Shunbing? He is just a trash. Yi Yaoshue curled her lips and said, Yaoshue, great master Shunbing, is a legend. I have heard stories about him since childhood. Nangong Shueru lightly smiled. That is because you have never seen Qin Yun's true ability. Yi Yaoshue said with disdain. Yaoshue, do you know Qin Yun? Nangong Shueru said with frown. Of course I know him. Whoever wants to be his enemy will suffer misfortune. Yi Yaoshue laughed and began eating the food on the table. Yu Shunbing stood up and furiously looked at Qin Yun. Youngster, although I don't know how you refined the floating island, it shows that you have some skill, but you're still too young. Without a certain foundation, don't come out and be arrogant. Less nonsense. Take out your best king tool and compete. Qin Yun threw the blood phoenix nether spear to Yu Feng and said, Yu Feng, I'll let you come. Yu Shunbing said with sneer, Young man, if the blood phoenix nether spear you refined is damaged, you should at least take out something, right? Yu Yongdai yelled. Yu Shunbing is willing to compete with a small character like you. He is giving you face. I just said, if the blood phoenix nether spear I refined is damaged, I'll give you my floating island. Qin Yun said with a smile. Are you all deaf? Or do you have a short memory? That stupid floating island of yours is worth fart. We don't care about it at all. Only a fool would like that floating island of yours. Yu Yongdai said with sneer. Xian Xin and Shui Jiuming are sitting at the table on the left. Senior Xuanqin, Dean, you paid me 5 billion to refine the floating island. Now there are people saying that people who like floating islands are fools. In order to not turn you into fools, I am willing to refund 5 billion to you. Qin Yun yelled. Everyone immediately looked at Shui Jiuming and Xian Xin. Xian Xin and Xian Xin are also cursing Qin Yun in their hearts for dragging them down with him. Although Shui Jiuming rarely shows his face, everyone knows that he is the dean of Great Ancient College. They also know that he and Xian Xin are a couple. They actually spent 5 billion to ask Qin Yun to refine a floating island. This means that they acknowledge Qin Yun's ability. Yu Yongdai's expression also changed because he noticed Xian Xion's murderous gaze. He is very afraid of this little sister of his. Grandpa, Grandma, how can you be so wasteful? Why did you buy that floating island? Shuewu very unhappily said. What do you know? That is a very good thing. You are not allowed to question my decision. Xian Xian said in stern voice. Everyone is now looking at Yu Shunbing. They are waiting for him to take out a king tool to compete with Qin Yun. Yu Shanbing looked at Qin Yun's blood phoenix nether spear and disdainfully said, "It is indeed very good looking, but it is only to please the eyes. That's all." When Yu Feng held the blood phoenix nether spear, she realized that it is not just to please the eyes, it is actually very powerful. This is something Qin Yun refined for her. Otherwise, the things Qin Yun refined would look very ordinary. Yu Shanbing took out a very domineering black dragon head shield and said with sneer, "Yu Feng, use your strongest power to attack my Heavenly Dragon 9 Underworld shield." It is about to begin. Everyone immediately stood up and began watching with rapt attention. Yu Feng firmly held the blood phoenix nether spear, lightly shouted, then rushed forward and stabbed at the Heavenly Dragon 9 Underworld shield. Boom! The collision produced a loud explosion. Soon after, everyone let out a wave of cries of alarm. Because the blood phoenix nether spear has pierced through the Heavenly Dragon 9 Underworld shield, Yu Shanbing's old eyes almost popped out of their sockets. He finds this very hard to believe. All the older generation present are emotionally moved. They are extremely fearful. Qin Yun's blood phoenix nether spear is actually so dreadful. It must be known that the blood phoenix nether spear in Yu Feng's hand has not even been carved with runes. This means that the materials used for the blood phoenix nether spear, as well as the forging process, have reached the peak of perfection. Nangong Shiru is an inscription master. She is also stunned by this scene. She did not expect that Yu Shanbing's famous Heavenly Dragon 9 Underworld shield would be pierced through like this. Yu Shanbing and Yu Yongdai's expression is very unsightly because they have lost a lot of face. Shuezhua from the Shui clan has a faint smile on his face. He is very optimistic about Qin Yun. "Serves you right." Xian Xen lightly groaned and said, "Senior Yu Shanbing, may I ask how much your overbearing Heavenly Dragon 9 Underworld shield is worth?" Qin Yun asked with smile. "Truth be told, Yu Feng asked me to refine the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear for only 3 billion star coins." Yu Shanbing's expression became even more unsightly. Everyone burst into an uproar. Such a powerful Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is actually only worth 3 billion star coins. This caused many people to suspect the relationship between Qin Yun and Yu Feng. If their relationship was not very good, it would be impossible for it to be worth this much. It must be known that all the weapons Yu Shanbing refined are worth at least 10 billion star coins. The Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is very famous, so it is normal for it to be worth 20 billion star coins. And Qin Yun's Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is even more awesome than the previous one. Only 3 billion. This is no different than giving it away for free. Oh, that's right, Family Chief Yu. You said that Yu Feng's Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is worth 20 billion star coins, right? Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. "Even if you get it to me, I won't want it." "You, don't be arrogant," Yu Shanbing furiously said. "My Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is not worth that price. As far as I know, your Blood Phoenix Nether Spear cannot pass the King Tool Termination Monuments test, right?" Qin Yun said again. "What do you know? All King Tools that can pass the King Tool Termination Monuments test are worth at least 30 billion star coins. Can your Blood Phoenix Nether Spear pass the test?" Yu Yongdai can only change the topic. "It really can," Qin Yun indifferently said and looked at Shui Jiuming. Shui Jiuming walked over, took out a King Tool Termination Monument, and said, "Let's give it a try." He has several King Tool Termination Monument in his hands. Qin Yun signaled Yu Feng with his eyes. Yu Feng already wanted to give it a try. Seeing the giant monument, she rushed over and stabbed it with her spear. Boom! Another loud sound rang out. The Blood Phoenix Nether Spear's spearhead pierced a bit, and it is not damaged at all. This caused everyone to cry out in alarm. Just an embryo is already so dreadful. If they did not see it with their own eyes, they would not believe it. Grandpa, the Cloud Star Sword was not damaged by him. He even compensated me with the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. How are you going to make things difficult for him now? Yu Feng very unhappily said. I can repair the Cloud Star Sword. Qin Yun very confidently said. I looked at it just now. As long as the sword tip is repaired and the runes inside are repaired, it will be as good as new. The Cloud Star Sword is just a key. It is not a combat weapon. As long as the runes inside are repaired, the corresponding lock can be opened. Yufeng looked at Yu Xinbing's unsightly expression and said in low voice, Grandpa Yu, can you repair the Cloud Star Sword? Yu Xinbing is struck speechless. He is completely stunned on the spot. He now only wants to know why Qin Yun's Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is so strong. The Blood Phoenix Nether Spear is actually mixed with a bit of Immortal King Beasthorn powder. Especially the spearhead is very sturdy. Qin Yun only wants people to know that he has mastered the secret method of refining materials. This way, people will not care about his runes. Then repair it. Yu Yongdai doesn't know what to do now. He can only hand over the Cloud Star Sword to Qin Yun. Qin Yun took the Cloud Star Sword and took out a piece of iron. He pinched it with great force and fused it into the broken part of the Cloud Star sword tip. Soon, a sword tip was formed. Then he placed his palms on the sword tip and poured in blood soul power. He began to repair the damaged star runes. In just a short period of time, the Cloud Star Sword released a burst of red light and was truly repaired. It's repaired. Qin Yun handed over the Cloud Star Sword to the Dazed Yu Yongdai and said, I still need to finish the runes on the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. Farewell. Qin Yun took the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear from Yu Feng's hand. Just as he was about to fly away, a young man with braid suddenly jumped out. Qin Yun, fight me. Su Xiaobai yelled and sent a palm attack towards Qin Yun, causing him to fall to the ground. Wretched guy. Qin Yun cursed in his heart. Su Xiaobai doesn't recognize Qin Yun as an inscription master. He only wants to defeat Qin Yun and wash away his previous humiliation. Holy Institute's people all know that Su Xiaobai has been saying all day that he wants to hang Qin Yun up and beat him up. Now that Su Xiaobai has come out to declare war, they're all looking forward to it. I am a martial emperor, and you are a first tribulation half-immortal. I would be stupid to fight you. Qin Yun said with sneer. Then again, I don't have time. Su Xiaobai furiously said. Qin Yun, don't pretend. When you were an initial stage martial emperor, you defeated me when I was a peak martial emperor. Now you are a peak martial emperor, and I am a first tribulation half-immortal. You are only one level lower than me. His words caused many people to exclaim in admiration. Many people are amazed that Qin Yun is now a peak martial emperor. Because when Qin Yun entered Great Ancient College, he was only a mid-stage martial emperor. In just a few days, he has jumped 2 levels. Moreover, many people have seen how dreadful Su Xiaobai is. And Qin Yun defeated him when he was an initial stage martial emperor. I am 1 level lower than you. You still have a nerve to say that? I won't fight unless I become a half-immortal. Qin Yun said, I am afraid that you won't be able to cross tribulation. Let's fight now. If I, Su Xiaobai, lose, I will become your student. How about it? Su Xiaobai yelled. Qin Yun looked at Xue Dai and Yu Feng and said, How about this? I will let my student fight with you. Su Xiaobai looked at Xue Dai and said with sneer, Is it her? She can't defeat me. I am much stronger than before. Qin Yun looked at Yu Feng and said, It's Yu Feng. She is a second tribulation half-immortal. She is also my student. If you fight with her, you will surely have a good time. Chapter 1104. To challenge the sacred Yu Feng is the 10th ranked teacher of the Great Ancient College. Now, she is no longer a teacher and has become Qin Yun's student. Are you kidding me? Yu Feng is a teacher. How can she become a student? Lu Chaoshui repeatedly shook his head. He does not believe this is true. No matter what, Yu Feng is still a great teacher. If she really became Qin Yun's student, there is only one possibility. What possibility? Of course it is to fight over a man with Xue Dai. You have all seen it. Qin Yun can refine very strong king tools. Look, Yu Xinbing of the Nether sect can't even speak now. Yu Xinbing's king tool is far inferior to Qin Yun's, and it is also extremely expensive. Yu Feng and Xue Dai are really fighting over a man. This immediately caused a huge uproar, causing a large group of people to gossip about this matter. When Yu Yongdai found out about the relationship between Qin Yun and Shui Dai, he was very happy in his heart because Yu Feng distanced herself from Qin Yun. But now Yu Feng has become Qin Yun's student. Yes, I am his student. Yu Feng also bravely admitted because she knows that this matter cannot be concealed for long. There are many disciples from famous sects who want to pursue Yu Feng. After learning of this matter, he immediately cast a hateful gaze at Qin Yun. Su Xiaoba said, "She is the teacher of a second tribulation half-immortal. I won't fight her. Qin Yun, you are a peak martial emperor teacher. Your strength is equal to mine. I will only fight you." He is not stupid. He knows how terrifying Yu Feng is. If he loses, he will become a laughingstock because he lost to a woman. Everyone felt that Su Xiaoba was being unreasonable. A first tribulation half-immortal like him was shameless enough to say that peak martial emperors were equal to him. Yu Feng, how can you be so willful? Why did you choose to be his student instead of being a good teacher? Did he use some means to threaten you? Yu Yongdai furiously glared at Qin Yun and roared, "You bastard! Don't think that just because you are a talented inscription master, you can run amok. You provoked our Yu family. The consequences are very serious." Qin Yun heard from Shui Dai that Yu family people are very unreasonable. Now he has experienced it firsthand. "It was Yu Feng who insisted on becoming my student. It has nothing to do with me." Qin Yun spread his hands and said with a smile, "If you want to blame someone, blame yourself." Su Xiaoba is very angry because he wants to compete with Qin Yun, but Qin Yun is being pestered by Yu Yongdai. He rushed over, grabbed Qin Yun's clothes, and growled, "Qin Yun, you must fight with me. I have prepared for a long time to defeat you." All right, let's fix a time. I have been refining tools for the past few days. I am very tired." Qin Yun also wants to fight Su Xiaoba. 2 days later, how about it? Su Xiaoba excitedly said. 1 month later, Qin Yun looked at the Yu family people and said, "The premise is that I am not killed by them." All right, 1 month it is. Su Xiaoba agreed. Yu Yongdai furiously yelled, "Qin Yun, you have harmed Shui Dai and Yu Feng. Yu Feng is Nether Sect's holy maiden. Shui Dai will also become holy maiden in the future. You are harming our Nether Sect's future holy maiden. You are opposing our Nether Sect." Shui Dai is sitting together with her father and grandfather. There is a trace of smile in her eyes. It is clear that she is watching a good show. She was very worried about Qin Yun before, but after finding out that Xin Xin and Qin Yun know each other, she felt a lot more relieved. They are all troublemakers. Qin Yun helplessly smiled in his heart. "Xiao Yun, take care of these troublemakers," Ling Yuner said with a smile. Yu Yongdai coldly looked at Qin Yun and said, "Qin Yun, you must remove Shui Dai and Yu Feng's student relationship today." Yu Shunbing, who has been in a daze, suddenly sent sound transmission to Qin Yun. "Teacher Qin, I want to make a deal with you. You guide me in refining tools, and I will help you get through this difficult time." Qin Yun originally wanted to use mysterious penetration divine ability to escape, but Yu Shunbing's sound transmission piqued his interest. He also asked through sound transmission, "How should I cooperate?" Yu Shunbing has a very high position in Nether Sect. Qin Yun feels that he can establish good relationship with him. At this time, Yu family people also stood up and walked toward Qin Yun. Many of Yu family's experts have arrived at Yu family's clan assembly. Everyone can see that a large group of Yu family experts are surrounding Qin Yun and feel great pressure. However, Qin Yun's expression is as calm as ever. He is not the least bit afraid. Xin Xin also wanted to speak up for Qin Yun, but she heard Yu Shunbing suddenly say, "Teacher Qin, do you still accept students? Do you accept old people like me?" Yu family's fiendish and evil-looking experts suddenly looked at Yu Shunbing as if they heard wrong. Everyone present who was waiting to watch a good show burst into commotion. An inscription master like Yu Shunbing actually wants to become Qin Yun's student? Even Shui Dai and Yu Feng did not expect such a thing to happen. Shui Jioming and Xin Xin also looked at each other in amazement. The elders of the Ming family and the Blood Clan were also shocked. "Abing, what are you doing?" Yu Yongdai said in low voice. "That brat. Does he have the qualifications to become your teacher? He only refined king tools with very good materials. He came from 9 desolate great land. There are many good materials there. It is not strange at all. You don't understand. Yu Shenbing arrived in front of Qin Yun and said with smile, Teacher Qin, rest assured, with me here, they won't dare to do anything to you. Qin Yun is still in a daze. He knew that Yu Shenbing wanted to help him, but he did not expect him to use this kind of method. Senior, you don't need to become my student. Your tool refining skill is also very high, but you are lacking in some aspects. We can just exchange pointers. Qin Yun doesn't want to accept a student like Yu Shenbing. Do you think I am too old? Yu Shenbing said with smile. It's settled. From today onwards, you are my teacher. Yu Yongdai's eyes became wide open. He immediately pulled Yu Shenbing back and said, Bing, don't cause trouble. This caused many people to feel that this is very funny. Originally, Yu family wanted to use this opportunity to teach Qin Yun a lesson and make him remove his teacher relationship with Yu Feng. But now, the Yu family had lost another person. Moreover, it was the famous Yu Shenbing. Yu family people's expression became very unsightly. They're not Yu Shenbing, so they don't know how high Qin Yun's tool refining skill is. In fact, ancient domains inscription masters are very backward, not to mention those who know nothing about inscription and tool refining. They all believe that Qin Yun's cultivation is very low and his inscription skill is also very low. And Yu Shenbing has been immersed in inscription and tool refining for many years. After thinking about it carefully, he realized that Qin Yun's inscription and tool refining skill is very high. Especially when he saw how Qin Yun repaired the Cloud Star sword. He became even more shocked, and reverence appeared in his heart. What do you know? Teacher Qin has his own unique skill in inscription and tool refining. Why can't I learn from him? Yu Shenbing groaned and said to Qin Yun, Teacher Qin, let's talk somewhere else. It is too noisy here. Yu Yongdai and the other elders can only frown. Yu Shenbing is their Yu family's highest level inscription master. They don't dare to make things difficult for him. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for them to obtain magic tools, talismans, and so on in the future. Forget it, forget it. Yu Yongdai let out a long sigh and returned to his seat. Other Yu family elders are also the same. They really didn't expect that Yu Shenbing would be so useless. From their point of view, even if Qin Yun's inscription and tool refining skill is very high, Yu Shenbing cannot be a coward at this critical juncture. This will only make their Yu family a laughingstock. Holy Assembly's people are all sneering and ridiculing Qin Yun. Yu family's inscription master is actually so cowardly. Ha ha ha. A sixth tribulation half-immortal, Yu Shenbing actually recognized a peak martial emperor as his teacher. This is simply the most ridiculous thing under the heavens. Even if Qin Yun's inscription and tool refining skill is very high, a sixth tribulation half-immortal inscription master should not be this shameless. Nethersek's face has been completely thrown away by Yu Shenbing. Yu family, are you holding this clan assembly to make a joke? Holy Assembly's people also took this opportunity to ridicule Yu family. This caused the expression of Yu family's people to become even more unsightly. Yu Shenbing said in low voice, Teacher, don't worry about them, we are leaving. Qin Yun originally wanted to leave, but after hearing the words of Holy Assembly's people, he felt very unhappy in his heart. He yelled at Holy Assembly's people, Does your Holy Assembly have any inscription master who dares to come out and compete with me? There is no need for you to compete. Your Holy Assembly's most powerful inscription master will come out and compete with my half-finished Blood Phoenix Nether Spear using King Tool. Qin Yun's words are filled with the power of heavenly might. They are accompanied by vibrating power that spread throughout the entire plaza. Everyone can hear them. Holy Assembly's people became completely silent. If no one comes out, then shut your mouths for me. Yu Shenbing dare to come out and compete with me. Yet you are afraid that your king tool will be damaged. You are like turtles that don't even dare to stick your head out. Your Holy Assembly's inscription masters are as cowardly as rats. What qualifications do you have to make fun of Yu Shenbing? Qin Yun's voice is filled with ridicule. It once again shook the heaven and earth. Dark Assembly's people are very unhappy after being ridiculed by Holy Assembly's people. And now seeing Qin Yun provoking Holy Assembly's people, they feel very satisfied. Even you family's people are now secretly praising Qin Yun. Holy Assembly, could it be that you don't even have a single king tool? Aren't you too shabby? Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, if you have the guts, take out your king tool and compete with my Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. Qin Yun took out the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and threw it at Yufeng. Yufeng tightly grasped the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. Her killing intent is soaring. Holy Assembly's inscription masters are as cowardly as rats. No one dares to come out and fight. Qin Yun looked at Yu Yongdai and asked, Family Chief Yu, did you not invite any Holy Assembly's inscription masters? Yu Yongdai is stunned and said, no, I invited several famous experts. They are all here. Qin Yun said with a smile, it seems like your hospitality is too considerate. They are all sleeping after eating their fill. Dark Assembly's people immediately burst into laughter. Holy Assembly's inscription masters are indeed terrified, because they all know that Yu Xunbing's Heavenly Dragon 9 Underworld Shield is very powerful, but it was still pierced through by a single spear. Their king tools will not be able to block the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. Teacher Qin, I'll compete with you. A beautiful woman in a white dress flew out with a long sword in her hand. Chapter 1105. Heavenly Saber, sect. Everyone in Great Ancient College knows that Nangong Shiru is an inscription pill master. Many people are startled to see her come out. Dark Assembly's people are even more sneering. They are not laughing at Nangong Shiru. They are laughing at Holy Assembly. Because in the end, only one woman came out. Holy Assembly's people were very enthusiastic in ridiculing Yu Xunbing, but after being ridiculed by Qin Yun, they no longer dare to say anything. Their Holy Assembly has lost so much face that they bitterly hate Qin Yun. Many Holy Assembly inscription masters wish they could beat Qin Yun up. Originally, they came here to eat and drink, but because of Qin Yun's words, their Holy Assembly inscription masters have been ridiculed. Today's matter will surely spread out very quickly, and their face will be tarnished. Nangong Shuiru's absolute beauty caused many people to exclaim in admiration. Many people have only heard of her, but have never seen her with their own eyes. This Nangong Shuiru is truly a natural-born beauty. Such a beauty is truly rare to see. She is truly worthy of being the #1 beauty of Great Ancient College. She is much more beautiful than Yufeng. Her cultivation is also higher than Yufeng's, and she is also an inscription pill master. Whether it is Holy Assembly or Dark Assembly's people, they all agree that Nangong Shiru is very outstanding. Nangong Shiru lightly sighed and said, Teacher Qin, the sword in my hand was gifted to me by my master. It is not a king tool refined by me. But my master is also an inscription master of Holy Assembly. He is busy and cannot come. Just consider it as me coming out to compete with you on his behalf. Actually, even if Nangong Shiru loses, no one will laugh at her, because even those highly respected inscription masters of Holy Assembly don't dare to come out. Nangong Shiru running out to fight is a very commendable courage. Qin Yun nodded and said, I, Qin Yun, am not challenging your Holy Assembly because I look down on you. It's the people from your Holy Assembly. Their words just now were too unpleasant to hear. It was your Holy Assembly's people who looked down on us first. You mocked me and said that I am not worthy to be Yu Xunbing's teacher. I want to see what gives your Holy Assembly the confidence to mock me. Your Holy Assembly's inscription masters are not even equal to me. You should just shut your dog mouths. Qin Yun's words once again caused Holy Assembly to become furious. Qin Yun, watch your words. Didn't our Holy Assembly have an inscription master to accept the challenge? Teacher Nangong's master is the #1 inscription master of Holy Assembly. His king tool will surely surpass yours. Qin Yun, you're only a bit stronger than Yu Xunbing, yet you are so arrogant. Our Holy Assembly's inscription masters are all seniors of virtue and prestige. They're just too lazy to compete with you. Qin Yun laughed heartily and said, You esteemed seniors should be cutting old turtles, right? All of them are clearly aware that if they were to compete with me, then not only would their king weapons be damaged, their reputations would be tarnished as well. So they're willing to be old bastards. Holy Assembly's people exploded. Qin Yun's words have angered many inscription master friends of Holy Assembly. Dark Assembly's people secretly admire Qin Yun, because even they don't dare to speak such arrogant words to Holy Assembly's inscription masters. Not only Qin Yun said such words, he also made those old inscription masters of Holy Assembly not dare to even fart. Yu family has been ridiculed by Holy Assembly's people. Now they feel that their anger has been vented. They also feel that Qin Yun is more pleasing to the eye. Nangong Shuru's eyebrows are slightly knitted as she said, "Teacher Qin, let's begin. Teacher Nangong, quickly use your heavenly constellation sword to destroy that blood phoenix nether spear." Heavenly Constellation Sword is the #1 king tool on the Great Ancient King Tool ranking. Heavenly Constellation Sword will win. Teacher Nangong, let Qin Yun know what a true teacher is. Let him see a true king tool. Holy Assembly's people began shouting one after another. Their aura suddenly became very fierce. Yu Feng is also feeling somewhat weak from the pressure. She looked at Qin Yun and asked in low voice, "Is there really no problem?" Qin Yun said with smile, "No problem. You can rest assured." Yu Feng come. Nangong Shuru is holding the heavenly constellation sword that is flickering with cold light. Her fair and beautiful face is filled with a confident smile. Everyone can see that Yu Feng is very nervous now. Holy Assembly students are not afraid of death, they said with sneer. Teacher Nangong is much more beautiful than Yu Feng. Teacher Nangong is an immortal. Yu Feng is a witch. Evil will never prevail over good. Indeed, look at Yu Feng. She is not confident at all. How can her half-finished Blood Phoenix Nether Spear compare to the #1 King Tool, Heavenly Constellation Sword? Even Yu Feng doesn't believe that Qin Yun can refine a King Tool. Haha! Holy Assembly's people are unceasingly shouting and increasing their aura. Yu family's people are also very nervous. If the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear loses, they will lose a lot of face. Facing the #1 King Tool, Heavenly Constellation Sword, Dark Assembly's people don't have any confidence. They also don't shout for Yu Feng. 1, 2, 3, begin. Qin Yun shouted. Yu Feng and Nangong Shuru also hastily used their king tools to attack Qin Yun. Bang! The Blood Phoenix Nether Spear collided with Nangong Shueru's king tool. A burst of intense red and white light flickered. Everyone let out a burst of cry of alarm. These two king tools are very strong. However, Yu Feng is weaker than Nangong Shuru, so the power released by the Heavenly Constellation Sword is stronger. Yu Feng's arm is trembling from the impact. After the collision, the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and the Heavenly Constellation Sword are not damaged at all. Again, Nangong Shueru slightly frowned and lightly shouted. Yu Feng clenched her teeth, then used her numb hand to firmly grasp the spear shaft and attacked again. Boom! This time, both Yu Feng and Nangong Shuru used even stronger power. As a result, the collision between the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and the Heavenly Constellation Sword became even more intense, giving rise to a burst of gale. Clang! The Blood Phoenix Nether Spear flew out of Yu Feng's hand. Yu Feng's sleeve has been torn apart, revealing her jade lotus-like arm. Her arm has been cut open and blood is flowing out. There's a sword scar on the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear's spearhead. It was cut open by the Heavenly Constellation Sword. Holy Assembly's people burst into cheers, seeing the sword scar on the spearhead. Are you all right? Nangong Shueru promptly asked. Yu Feng shook her head and said with sigh, "The Blood Phoenix Nether Spear lost." Nangong Shueru lightly smiled. It can't be considered a loss. After all, it is only a semi-finished product refined by Teacher Qin. There are no runes carved on it. It cannot be considered a complete king tool. If it was completed, it would have been even stronger. Teacher Nangong, you are truly modest. Even if you won, you would not be as arrogant as Qin Yun. A youth from Holy Assembly said with loud laughter. Qin Yun, let's see if you can still be arrogant. Now you know that in front of teacher Nangong, you are not even fart. Only you Feng and Shui Dai were stupid enough to be deceived by you and become your students. Our teacher Nangong would never do such a stupid thing. Holy Assembly's people saw the sword scar on the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear's spearhead and jumped to the sky. They are unceasingly ridiculing Qin Yun. Nangong Shueru lightly smiled at Qin Yun. Teacher Qin, my teacher's heavenly constellation sword won. Ha ha ha. Qin Yun suddenly laughed. Teacher Qin, could it be that you can't accept this result? Nangong Shueru shook her head and sighed. Teacher Nangong, your heavenly constellation sword is finished. Qin Yun said with smile. The heavenly constellation sword's injury is much more serious than the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. You actually don't know? Nangong Shuru said. Teacher Qin, are you not satisfied with the result? My cultivation is higher than you Feng's. It is understandable that you are not satisfied. Qin Yun walked over, waved his hand, and the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear flew into his hand. Teacher Nangong, how about we fight the third time? Qin Yun said. Qin Yun quickly scram. You clearly lost, yet you don't dare to admit it. A middle-aged man yelled. Teacher Nangong, don't fight him. He has already lost. Qin Yun said with smile. Teacher Nangong, your heavenly constellation sword's internal injury is very serious. If we fight again, it will surely shatter. You should be mentally prepared. Nangong Shuru faintly smiled. Teacher Qin, the heavenly constellation sword is in my hand. I know it better than you. Since you want to fight me, I will only use 30% of my power, so that you won't be injured. Come. Qin Yun firmly held the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and said with smile. Nangong Shuru raised the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and poured in her half-immortal power. However, just as she poured in her half-immortal power, she suddenly heard a crack sound. Nangong Shueru's beautiful face suddenly changed. An unimaginable scene appeared. The heavenly constellation sword suddenly shattered into many pieces and fell to the ground. Qin Yun said with smile, This is good. There's no need to fight anymore. Those people from Holy Assembly who were about to ridicule Qin Yun immediately swallowed back their words. Everyone became completely silent as they looked at the fragments on the ground. Nangong Shueru has lost. She has completely lost. Qin Yun raised the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and placed it in front of Nangong Shueru. He said, Teacher Nangong, take a look. Is the sword scar still there? It's gone. Nangong Shueru's expression is filled with shock. Yu Shunbing also let out a cry of admiration. It can repair itself? What kind of material is that? All the inscription masters present repeatedly exclaimed in admiration. They stood up and looked at the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear. The sword scar on the spear is indeed gone. It has repaired itself. Yu Feng is the happiest. She was worried that Qin Yun would swindle her. She really did not expect that the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear he refined would be able to beat the #1 King Tool on the King Tool ranking. Lu Hanshan said with smile, Teacher is truly awesome. It is just a half-finished product, yet it can beat up that #1 King Tool to the point where it can't even find north. Dark Assembly's people who have been silent all along are now loudly mocking Holy Assembly. Nangong Shuru picked up the fragments of the heavenly constellation sword. She feels somewhat sad and lightly sighed. I was too conceited. Teacher Nangong, how much is this heavenly constellation sword worth? Qin Yun asked with smile. Nangong Shueru looked at Qin Yun with hidden bitterness. Qin Yun deliberately asked the price to make fun of the heavenly constellation sword. Teacher Qin, the king tool you refined is indeed very strong. I am ashamed of my inferiority. I wholeheartedly accept my defeat. Nangong Shueru stored the heavenly constellation sword and said in a faint voice, Shueru, don't be sad. He can only compete with king tools. If you have the guts, then compete with my heavenly saber sex half-immortal tool. The person who spoke is a tall and handsome young man. He is wearing luxurious golden red clothes and holding a large saber flickering with golden light. Chapter 1106. First Cut Qin Yun glanced at the saber in the youth's hand and said with a smile, "Half immortal artifact? Although I don't have it, I'm willing to use my king tool to compete with your half-celestial tool." The young man from the Heavenly Saber sect burst out laughing. The other members of the Holy Assembly also roared with laughter. At this time, Shin Xian suddenly walked out and yelled, "Qin Yun, that half-immortal tool is not a joke. Hurry back and help me refine the floating island. Because ancient domain is too far from immortal desolate, there are very few half-immortal and immortal tools in ancient domain. When they were in the spirit desolate, they were quite close to the immortal desolate. Furthermore, in the ancient times, a large group of immortals came from the immortal desolate to the spirit desolate. There are many immortal artifacts in the spirit desolate, and Qin Yun has one in his hands. Teacher Qin, I've already admitted defeat. Your king armament is indeed powerful. There's no need for it to be damaged because of this." Nangong Shuru looked at the Blood Phoenix nether spear in Qin Yun's hand. Her beautiful eyes are filled with love. She advised, "Don't destroy the king tool that you painstakingly refined." Qin Yun put away the Blood Phoenix nether spear and said with a smile, "I am not using the Blood Phoenix nether spear to compete with him." Shin Xian patted Qin Yun's head and yelled, "Brat, quickly return. Stop messing around. Those king tools of yours are very powerful and expensive. Won't you feel bad if they break?" Shuezhua also walked over, coldly looked at the youth, and said, "Qin Yun, he is the son of Heavenly Saber Sect's sect master, Zhuo Luqian, a third tribulation half-immortal. The weapon in his hand is one of the 3 heavenly sabers of the Heavenly Saber faction, called the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber. Back then, when I sparred with his father, all the magic treasures I had on me were destroyed by this saber, and it even left me with 3 saber wounds." Zhuo Luqian proudly laughed and said, "Senior Shuezhua, this is 1,000 years ago. I did not expect you to remember it so clearly. It seems like the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber has left quite a shadow in your heart." Qin Yun used the Extinction Spirit Eye to take a look. Although the Scarlet Hell Heavenly Saber was powerful, it was trash in his eyes. "Shui Ru, he destroyed your Heavenly Constellation Sword. I will also destroy one of his king tools to avenge you," Zhuo Luqian said. Zhuo Luqian is also one of Nangong Shuru's suitors. Nangong Shuru has many pursuers, but only Zhuo Luqian has come out to help her regain face. Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber is a famous half-immortal tool in ancient domain. So when Holy Assembly's people saw this saber, they knew that Zhuo Luqian will be in the limelight today. Nangong Shuru lightly sighed and said, "Young Master Zhuo, forget it. You have a quasi-immortal artifact in your hand. No king artifact is a match for a quasi-immortal artifact. Don't bully others." Zhuo Luqian looked at Qin Yun and said with a smile, "He just said that he can use king tools to compete with me. Qin Yun, if you are a man, don't go back on your words. Hurry up and take out your king weapon to fight with my Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber." Qin Yun took out his king tool, the 9th Heaven Mysterious King Saber. Nangong Shuru is standing beside Qin Yun. Seeing Qin Yun take out a weapon, she also earnestly looked at it. From the outside, the 9th Heaven Mysterious King Saber looks like an ordinary saber. It doesn't have any exaggeratedly beautiful shape. It also doesn't emit any light, and there are no runes on its surface. In comparison, the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber is very long and has a very unique shape. There is a fierce dragon carved on the back of the saber. The runes on the saber body are flickering with golden and red light. The runes on the saber have been meticulously arranged. They look like angry dragons, very domineering. Your weapon doesn't have runes? Is it also a half-finished product? Nangong Shueru asked. Teacher, what is so amazing about your saber? Yu Shanbing very carefully looked at the saber in Qin Yun's hand, but he can't see anything special about it. I don't have runes carved on it. If you don't have runes carved on it, you can use it for a period of time to temper your weapon's embryo. Without the protection of runes, many weapons become very weak. Once the runes inside are damaged, the weapon will be very easy to destroy. Just now, Teacher Nangong's heavenly constellation sword was like this. After the runes inside are damaged, the sword body becomes very weak. Zhuo Luqian said with sneer, "Don't talk nonsense. You don't have good runes, and you can't carve runes on the tough saber body. Therefore, all the weapons you refined are half-finished products. You are only SOSO. Qin Yun said with smile, "You are right. My saber still doesn't have any runes because the blade is too strong. I don't have the ability to carve runes on it." Zhuo Luqian laughed heartily and said, "Did you hear that? He did not have any curious runes in his hands. Could such an inscription master even be considered an inscription master? Pitiful Yu Shenbing. Your teacher is a fake." Yu Feng and Xue Dai used the ninth heaven mysterious king saber to hack the king tool termination steel, so they know how dreadful it is. Especially Yu Feng. She also used the Blood Phoenix nether spear to stab the king tool termination monument, but she could only stab a little bit. Back at the Great Ancient Square, she used the ninth heaven mysterious king saber to split open the king tool termination monument. Therefore, she also realized that the ninth heaven mysterious king saber used by Qin Yun is not on the same level as her Blood Phoenix nether spear. Even so, her Blood Phoenix nether spear was much more powerful than the heavenly constellation sword. This made her the happiest. Zhuo Luqian said, "Don't try to persuade Qin Yun. He was a real man, and he meant what he said. Everyone get out of the way, let me fight him. Let him see what a real saber is." Yu Feng coldly groaned and said, "Zhuo Luqian, you're just a third tribulation half immortal. Do you want to fight a peak martial emperor? Then what do you think? Are you going to fight me?" Zhuo Luqian asked with sneer. "You're much stronger than me. How about this? You give the Scarlet Prison heavenly saber to Teacher Nangong. I will fight in Teacher Qin's place." Yu Feng said, My Scarlet Prison heavenly saber can only be used by me. If others are not familiar with it, they won't be able to unleash its full power. Instead, they will be injured by it. There is no way around it. This kind of high-grade saber is like this. Zhuo Luqian said. Xue said with smile, "Zhuo Luqian, this saber has always been used by your father. Your father is only lending you the saber to put on a show. Could it be that you are very familiar with this saber? I think you don't want to give it to Teacher Nangong." Zhuo Luqian yelled, "Xue, don't talk nonsense. My saber is very fierce. I am worried that it will injure Teacher Nangong." Nangong Shuru naturally knows that Zhuo Luqian is not willing to lend her the saber. This kind of precious half-immortal tool cannot be used by outsiders. Just by touching a magic tool, one can see through the runes inside it. Those runes are all top secret. Nangong Shuru is an inscription master. If she uses the saber for a while, it is very likely that the runes inside it will be revealed. All the inscription masters and older generation present here are aware of this matter, but they did not say it out loud. Qin Yun said, "Teacher Nangong, you're also a third tribulation half-immortal. How about you use my saber to fight against the Scarlet Prison heavenly saber?" He didn't care whether Nangong Shueru agreed or not and threw the saber to her. Nangong Shuru hastily caught the saber and said, "Very light. Why is the saber so light?" "Teacher Qin, isn't the heavier the better?" "Of course the heavier the better. My Scarlet Prison heavenly saber weighs 300,000 jin," Zhuo Luqian said with smile. "Teacher Nangong, how heavy is that broken saber?" "Not more than 1,000 jin," Nangong Shueru doubtfully said. She also probed the ninth heaven mysterious king saber, but didn't find anything special about it. "Ha ha ha, not even 1,000 jin broken saber. Even a small part of my Scarlet Prison heavenly saber would be heavier than this broken saber," Zhuo Luqian said with sneer. "Quickly compete," Xian Xin urged. She also wants to see whether or not Qin Yun's saber is very strong. Nangong Shueru is filled with doubt. She firmly held the ninth heaven mysterious king's saber and secretly poured her half-immortal power into it. She immediately felt that the saber is incomparably smooth. When she used the heavenly constellation sword before, she had to very carefully pour in her half-immortal power. She was worried that the runes inside the saber would be damaged and the sword would break. But now she can clearly feel that the ninth heaven mysterious king saber can contain boundless power. She doesn't need to be very careful when pouring in her half-immortal power. This feeling of being able to pour in half-immortal power to her heart's content has greatly impacted Nangong Shuru. What shocked her the most is that there are no runes carved on the saber. The main function of runes is to guide energy to flow smoothly. Now Nangong Shuru finally understands why Qin Yun saber can be used without carving runes. Moreover, it is very strong. Prepare to begin. Qin Yun yelled. Nangong Shueru is also pouring her half-immortal power into the ninth heaven mysterious king saber. This feeling of fluidity was something she had never experienced before. It allowed her to transfer all the energy in her body to the saber without any restraints. It makes her feel as if she can fuse with the saber. Shueru, pay attention. I am going to attack. Zhuo Luqian yelled. Begin. Qin Yun yelled and spread out with Shuezhua and the others. When weapons collide, the strongest power is poured into the weapon and then collided. As long as the disparity in strength is not too big, there will be no injuries. Nangong Shuru has never felt this good before, so she is pouring her strongest power into the saber. It can be said that she is using her full strength. She is not holding back at all. This is also because she is feeling very good after pouring her half-immortal power into the saber. Zhuo Luqian's face is filled with disdain. He firmly held the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber and vigorously hacked down. The Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber flickered with golden red light as it collided with the ninth heaven mysterious king saber. Two sabers collided. Rumble. Incomparably intense, trembling sound shook the plaza up and down. A great number of bricks exploded and the earth fiercely trembled. Everyone soared into the sky in shock and looked at the fragments of the saber flying all over the place in amazement. The Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber's fragments are very heavy. They fell on the ground and created many craters. Nangong Shueru is gasping for breath. She looks very excited. My saber, my saber. Zhuo Luqian's mournful wail echoed through the entire plaza. Very soon, Zhuo Luqian's voice was drowned out by cries of alarm. The famous Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber has been destroyed by a king tool. Chapter 1107. Snatchua Luqian saber has been turned into a pile of fragments and scattered everywhere like meteors, creating huge craters in the plaza. This was one of the three strongest sabers of the Heaven Saber sect. However, it had been completely destroyed. Hearing Zhuo Luqian's sorrowful and indignant howl, everyone present can feel how bad his mood is. Of course, everyone is also shocked by Qin Yun's ninth heaven mysterious king saber. This is especially true for Nangong Shuru. She is currently stupefied. She originally thought that the ninth heaven mysterious king saber would at most be able to fight evenly with the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber. She never expected that it would be destroyed in one slash. Now everyone is looking at the ninth heaven mysterious king saber in Nangong Shuru's hand. Such a sharp weapon was comparable to a celestial artifact. Qin Yun casually gave such a precious thing to Nangong Shuru. Although Nangong Shuru is very beautiful and outstanding, even a fanatical pursuer like Zhuo Luqian is reluctant to give her the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber. And Qin Yun very casually let Nangong Shuru use the ninth heaven mysterious king saber. Yu Feng and Xue Dai also took out the ninth heaven mysterious king saber before. However, they only felt that the ninth heaven mysterious king saber was a very powerful monarch weapon. Only now did they realize that the ninth heaven mysterious king saber was a quasi-celestial artifact. Qin Yun, I will kill you. Zhuo Luqian's eyes are red as he furiously roared at Qin Yun. Yu family and Xue clan's people also rushed over to block Zhuo Luqian. Qin Yun looked at Nangong Shuru and said with sigh, Teacher Nangong, your attack is too heavy. You shouldn't have done that. That was young master Zhuo's lifeblood. How could you destroy it with a single strike? Teacher Nangong, the reason why I let you use my saber was because I saw that you were a kind-hearted girl. I thought that you would show mercy. Sigh, I really didn't expect that the power you used would be so strong. When everyone heard Qin Yun's words, they immediately burst into an uproar. Zhuo Luqian looked at Nangong Shuru with hatred in his eyes. Everyone secretly nodded because Nangong Shuru's powerful aura still lingered in this place. The reason the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber was destroyed was because Nangong Shuru used too much strength. Nangong Shuru is looking at Qin Yun with a dumbstruck expression. She doesn't know how to explain. She was also blaming Qin Yun in her heart. He had actually made her the scapegoat. She had never encountered such a situation before. Yufeng secretly laughed in her heart. Qin Yun also swindled her like this before. He made her destroy the great ancient square. Young Master Zhua, I used a lot of power just now. Nangong Shuru thought about it and felt that it was her fault. Shuiru, this has nothing to do with you. It is all that bastard's fault. Zhuo Luqian doesn't want to blame Nangong Shuru, so he pointed at Qin Yun and shouted, No, no, no. This has nothing to do with Teacher Qin. It's mainly because I wasn't paying attention and injected my strongest power into the saber. That's the strongest power I've ever used. Teacher Nangong lowered her head slightly, her eyes filled with guilt. Yufeng understood Nangong Shuru's situation very well, because when she tried to chop down the King Tool Termination Monument, she also had the same feeling. She accidentally poured her strongest power into it. Qin Yun's Ninth Heaven Mysterious King Saber has this kind of devilish power. It can easily tempt the user to release their strongest power to attack. Teacher Nangong, although you are at fault, this is still a competition. Who told his Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber to be so weak? Qin Yun said with chuckle. Teacher Nangong, you should apologize to him. Young Master Zhua, I am sorry. Nangong Shuru looked at Qin Yun with hidden bitterness and apologized to Zhuo Luqian. Zhuo Luqian almost burst into tears. The Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber has been destroyed in his hands. He doesn't know how to face his father. Shuejua's face is filled with happiness. The Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber made him very miserable in the past, but now it has been destroyed into pieces. The Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber has left a great shadow in Shuejua's heart. Now the shadow in his heart has disappeared along with the destruction of the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber. Qin Yun, the saber in your hand was definitely not refined by you. Zhuo Luqian calmed down and yelled, You said that you would use a weapon you refined to compete with my Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber. With your cultivation, you cannot refine a half-immortal tool. This saber was indeed refined by me. Qin Yun said with smile, Believe it or not, it's up to you. You will sign a soul contract with me. If you did not refine that saber, you will die. Zhuo Luqian yelled. He is also convinced that this is the case. All right, Qin Yun laughed, then walked over and signed a soul contract with Zhuo Luqian. After the soul contract is signed, everyone looked at Qin Yun. Qin Yun is standing there with a smile on his face. He is completely fine. He did not suffer any backlash from the soul contract. This means that the saber was indeed refined by him. Teacher Qin, I am returning it to you. Nangong Shuru returned the Ninth Heaven Mysterious King Saber to Qin Yun. She is very reluctant to part with the feeling of holding the saber. Qin Yun took the saber and said with smile, Teacher Nangong, what did you feel when you used my Ninth Heaven Mysterious King Saber? Nangong Shuru's beautiful eyes flickered as she said in soft voice, Very good. This is a very outstanding weapon. It is so powerful without even carving runes. If it was carved, it would be even more powerful. I remember you asked me about the evolution of runes before. Did you comprehend anything after you went back? Qin Yun asked. When everyone heard this, they could not help but be dumbfounded. They all thought that this is the first time Qin Yun and Nangong Shuru met. But now it seems like they have known each other for a long time. Moreover, Nangong Shuru actually asked Qin Yun for guidance. It must be known that Nangong Shuru is very talented in inscription. She is also known as the future #1 inscription master of Holy Assembly, because her master is the #1 inscription master of Holy Assembly. Nangang Shuiru did not ask her master for guidance, but instead asked Qin Yun. This means that Nangang Shuiru's problem is not something her master can solve. Zhuo Luqian's eyes are wide open as he tightly clenches teeth. He suspects that Nangang Shuiru's attack just now was to help Qin Yun. Seeing that Qin Yun and Nangang Shuiru's relationship is very good, Zhuo Luqian's hatred towards Qin Yun increased by several times. Nangang Shuiru shook her head. She only has a direction. She can't evolve runes in a short period of time. Teacher, let's go back. Yu Shenbing said. Everyone saw that this old man Yu Shenbing is so respectful towards Qin Yun, and they don't find it funny anymore. Because Qin Yun is indeed qualified to be Yu Shenbing's teacher. Everyone now feels that it is very strange. How did Qin Yun master such a high-level inscription and tool refining technique? He is even more awesome than many famous inscription masters. Qin, teacher, if I have any more questions, can I ask you for guidance? Nangang Shuiru hastily asked, seeing that Qin Yun is about to leave. Of course, you are always welcome. Qin Yun laughed, and then looked at Yi Yaoxue, who is floating in the sky. Nangang Shuiru now understands that Qin Yun trusts her because of Yi Yaoxue. Qin Yun arrived in front of Yu Yongdai and said with smile, Family Chief Yu, I feel very sorry for ruining your clan convention like this. I really did not expect things to turn out like this. Our clan convention is almost over anyway. Next is the auction. Teacher Qin, if you're not busy, can you stay and participate in our auction? Yu Yongdai said with a smile on his face. Yu Yongdai's attitude towards Qin Yun has changed so much. Although everyone is amazed, it is also very reasonable. It must be known that Qin Yun's weapon can beat up that Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber. The reason why the Heavenly Saber sect is so awesome is because of their weapons. If both sides were 6 Tribulation half-immortals, they would compete in equipment. Yu Yongdai is very polite to Qin Yun because he wants Qin Yun to help him refine tools. Shuezhua hastily arrived beside Qin Yun and said with a smile, Teacher Qin, although my daughter Shui Dai is your student, our Shui clan will not object to your relationship. Let's have a proper talk and quickly settle the marriage. This caused Shui Dai to be somewhat dumbstruck. She looked at the red-robed old man beside her. He is the clan chief of Shui clan. He did not react at all. Clearly, he is tacitly agreeing to this matter. Seeing how Shuezhua is so anxious to get Qin Yun engaged, Yu Yongdai became very anxious in his heart. He glared at Yu Feng and cursed her in his heart for letting Shui Dai steal her man. Yu Feng and Shui Dai speechlessly looked at each other. Their relationship with Qin Yun has not developed to that degree. Ignoring teacher and student relationship, they are only friends. An old man from Ming family walked out and said, Shuezhua, Teacher Qin is indeed a very good inscription master, but he is an outsider. Shui Dai will become holy maiden in the future. It is not good to marry an outsider. Who my daughter marries has nothing to do with your Ming family. Shuezhua furiously said, Shuezhua, everyone knows that Teacher Qin was originally together with my family's Yu Feng, but he was snatched away by your family's Shui Dai. Regarding marriage, don't decide too early. My family's Yu Feng is now Teacher Qin's student. She will surely snatch Teacher Qin back. Yu Yongdai said with sneer. This caused all the spectators to be extremely shocked. It must be known that Yu family and Shui clan wanted nothing more than to kill Qin Yun, because he dared to bring disaster to their holy maiden. But not long after, these two families are actually fighting over a man for their holy maiden. Moreover, they're even fighting over an elder. Yu Shenbing mischievously laughed and said, Don't quarrel, don't quarrel. Let Yu Feng and Shui Dai marry Teacher Qin. It is such a simple matter. Yu Feng and Shui Dai rolled their eyes. They don't want to say anything anymore. The number of women around Qin Yun is even more than the number of people I have killed. Teacher Nangong's student Yi Yaoxue is his concubine. I think Teacher Nangang will also marry soon. Yi Yaoxue immediately cursed Su Xiaoba for being such a gossiper. He actually dragged her into this matter. Nangang Shuiru is a good-natured woman, but she has never wanted to beat someone up so much. Her beautiful eyes leaked out a trace of killing intent as she glared at Su Xiaoba. Yu Shunbing said with smile, "That's normal. That's normal. When I was young, the number of women around me could not even be counted. Su Xiaoba, if you keep spreading rumors, see how I will deal with you." Qin Yun very angrily said, "I, Qin Yun, am a very loyal and honest person. Don't ruin my reputation again." Nobody present believes Qin Yun's words. Chapter 1108. Immortal Jade Paste. Chapter 1108. Immortal Jade Paste. Although the plaza is full of potholes, it does not hinder people's enthusiasm to participate in the auction. Yu family is hosting the auction. They are taking advantage of the fact that there are so many people here to hold the auction. The identity of the sellers is very mysterious, and the goods have already been registered. Even if the venue is not very good, the auction will continue. Shui clan and Yu family also stop fighting over Qin Yun. After all, there are too many people here. If they continue arguing, they will become a laughingstock. Xian Xin pulled Qin Yun to her side to avoid further argument. She is now with Shui Jioming and Shui Weiwei. Nangong Shuru returned to Holy Assembly side and stayed with Yi Yaoxue and Gu Qiufei. "Yaoxue, I did not expect you to have such a good relationship with Qin Yun," Nangong Shuru said. "Not really," Yi Yaoxue said with smile. Gu Qiufei also did not say anything. She already knows that Qin Yun is very outstanding in inscription. Yi Yaoxue and Nangong Shuru also don't know about Qin Yun and Gu Qiufei's relationship. Xian Xin pulled Qin Yun over and said with smile, "Teacher Qin, I truly underestimated you before. I thought you only mastered some special runes. I really did not expect your tool refining level to be so good. If you have time, help me refine a better weapon. Something as awesome as that saber of yours." Qin Yun said with smile, "Even if I have time, I won't be able to refine one. The materials required for my saber are very rare and have already been used up. Can you refine something as good as the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear?" Xian Xin asked again. "It could be done, but the price." Qin Yun said, 3 billion, the same price as you phone. Xian Xin said, "That won't do. I gave you phone the price of a friend." Qin Yun said with embarrassed smile, 30 billion. Qin Yun didn't understand the market price before. Otherwise, he would not have given you phone such a low price. "Am I not your friend?" Xian Xin said in a somewhat unhappy tone. "Grandma, he is swindling you." Qin Yun, "My grandma helped you just now. Why are you still asking for such an exorbitant price?" Shui Wu said in low voice. "Senior Xian Xin, how about this? I will help you refine a weapon, but you have to help me with a small matter." Qin Yun said after thinking for a bit. "A small favor?" Xian Xin asked in disbelief. "Take me to the Nether Sunstar for a stroll. Let me stay there for a few days. Cultivating on the Nether Sunstar will be very helpful to me." Xian Xin is the youngest daughter of Nether Sect Master. Now that Qin Yun has good relationship with Yu family and Shui clan, he feels that he should be able to make a trip to the Nether Sunstar ahead of time. "How long do you plan to stay in the Nether Sunstar?" Xian Xin asked. "I wonder, how long do you think I can stay here for?" Qin Yun only wants to investigate whether or not the Nether Sun Spirit is on the Nether Sunstar or not. "Let me think about it." Xian Xion's eyes flickered. Apparently, she is thinking of some crooked idea, causing Qin Yun to feel scared in his heart. The scene had also been rearranged, and a large stage had been built. It was currently nighttime, and there were a few giant glowing pearls floating above the stage, illuminating it. Shui Jioming said, "Teacher Qin, if there is something good, please remind me." Qin Yun said with smile, "It's too far away and I can't touch it. It's impossible to appraise anything good." "That's true." Shui Jioming sighed and said, "This kind of auction is the most frightening thing." The auction has begun. Shui clan and Yu family's people want to snatch Qin Yun away so that they can know what kind of things are being auctioned. Qin Yun looked all around and saw that Zhuo Luqian has not left yet. It seems like he wants to continue staying here. His expression is very unsightly. Nangang Shuiru is paying close attention to the stage. It seems like she also wants to buy something. At this time, Yi Yaoshu has sent sound transmission to Qin Yun. Xiao Yun, what is your purpose in coming to the great ancient college? I just want to know more about ancient domain. Qin Yun replied, Senior Sister Yi, what is going on between you and Su Xiaoba? Also, your brother Yulao was crippled by me. You won't blame me, right? There is no affection between me and Yi Lao. That guy and I are not born from the same mother. Yao Shue replied, Su Xiaoba, me and Xia Wufeng have been arranged to enter the great ancient college. This is the arrangement of the holy sects behind us to fight against your dark assembly. So it is like this. Qin Yun nodded. What about Yuan Mei and the others? Are they doing well in the holy sects? They are not very satisfied with the holy sects. They have already decided to follow Xiao Tian to roam the starry sky. I might also join them. Yi Yaoshu said with sigh. If you really want to roam the starry sky, you must be careful. We will meet again in the immortal desolate. Qin Yun said. Maybe. Yi Yaoshu said. The auction has begun. The first item is a very ancient small cauldron. It is a Dao tool used to refine pills and medicine. All the pill masters present are very interested in this small cauldron and started bidding one after another. Qin Yun is very far from the stage, but he can still use extinction spirit to see some things. There are cracks on the inside. Some of the runes are very weak. It is because they were not properly maintained. Qin Yun said in his heart, the starting price is 100 million star coins. Now, it is more than 1 billion. Whoever buys, it will suffer a loss. Very soon, the small cauldron was bought by an old man for 8 billion star coins. Qin Yun, Xian Xian, and Xue Jiuming are sitting at the same table. He asked in low voice, these ancient magic tools have not been appraised before being sold. Who can guarantee that they are good or bad? Therefore, it all depends on luck. Xian Xian shook her head and said, some people will be able to buy good things. Some people will suffer great losses. It has always been like this. Where do these ancient magic tools come from? It seems like there are many of them. Qin Yun recalled the secluded Phoenix Pavilion. There are many ancient magic tools inside. They are fished up from the Holy Lake. Most of them are fished up by the small demon beasts of the Demon Beast Alliance. Over the years, they have fished up the entire Holy Lake. Xue Jiuming said, there are many things at the bottom of the Holy Lake. I have never swam down there. Xian Xian said, the bottom of the Holy Lake is the territory of the Demon Beast Alliance. Demon Beast Alliance's demon beasts have not come? Qin Yun looked all around. He cannot sense any beast aura. They rarely participate in these matters. Even if we invite them, they won't come. Xue Jiuming said. The following items were mostly tools related to refining elixirs. They were all ancient magic treasures. Many people are very enthusiastic to buy them. Most of the people here believe that even if the ancient magic tools are not good, the runes inside them are still worth researching. Even if they lose out, it won't be a big loss. The auctioneer suddenly vigorously pounded the hammer a few times and said with a smile, the next item is the highlight of the auction. The starting price is 5 billion. After he finished speaking, a few old men escorted a black box over. Everyone craned their necks to see what it was. After opening the box, there was a glowing white bead that was about the size of a fist. This is immortal jade paste. The middle-aged man forcefully squeezed the white bead, causing it to deform. When he let go, it immediately returned to its original shape, just like a white jade bead. There is no need for me to explain the use of immortal jade paste. Everyone should already know, the auctioneer said with a smile. Qin Yun looked at Xian Xian and Xue Jiuming and asked in low voice, what is the use of immortal jade paste? Teacher Qin, you actually don't know? Xue Jiuming is very amazed. Oof, you are truly a freak. You are so good at refining tools with runes, but you don't even know what immortal jade paste is? Xue Wu curled his lips and said, Teacher, immortal jade paste can be used to refine pills. It can also be used to cultivate formidable half-immortal power. Nobody knows how it is formed. Generally speaking, immortal jade paste is the size of a thumb, but the one being auctioned now is as big as a thumb. Shui Weiwei said in low voice. I bid 6 billion. The Shui clan leader shouted. 7 billion. Yu Yongdai indifferently said. Xian Xian gave Shui Juming a meaningful glance, and he immediately shouted, 7, 5 billion, 10 billion. Nangong Shuiru's graceful voice caused the entire hall to burst into commotion. Qinyan is also itching to see this. He hastily sent sound transmission to Yao Fong and asked, Sister Yao Fong, have you heard of immortal jade paste? What kind of toy is that? Immortal jade paste? Trash. Yao Fong very disdainfully said, It is only suitable for half immortals. If you want, I can help you make it. Using immortal origin and beast oil, as well as my powerful immortal force, I can refine it. So, it's like this. How big can you refine it? Qinyan asked in shock. As big as your head, Yao Fong said. Qinyan has a great amount of beast oil and immortal origin. It means that he will have a lot of immortal jade paste in the future. Many elders in Nangong Shiru are fiercely fighting over the immortal jade paste. The price has already reached more than 30 billion. That girl Nangong Shuru must be buying it on behalf of her master. Shui Juming cursed in low voice. He has been constantly being stared at by Xian Xian and is feeling great pressure. Dean, don't fight over it. What is the value of this thing? Qin Yun advised. You family and Shui clan people have also given up because Holy Assembly's people are now fighting over it. It is very valuable. Whether or not we can become immortals will depend on this immortal jade paste. Xian Xian said. Is that so? Qin Yin finds this somewhat unexpected. Immortal jade paste can help half immortals break through. He asked Yao Fong to refine a small immortal jade paste for him. Finally, Zhuo Luqian bought the immortal jade paste for more than 150 billion star coins. Zhuo Luqian is here to buy good things. How can this guy have so many star coins? Tens of billions, even hundreds of billions. Qin Yun said in amazement. Zhuo Luqian is the son of Heavenly Saber sect master. It is not strange. Xian Xan groaned and looked at Shui Jiuming in a very unhappy manner. After Zhuo Luqian bought the immortal jade paste, he very proudly walked down from the stage. He seems to have forgotten that his Heaven Prison Saber was destroyed. Shuiru, you want the immortal jade paste, right? Zhuo Luqian walked towards Nangong Shuiru with smile. Young Master Zhuo, I am indeed in urgent need of it, but I don't have enough star coins. Nangong Shuiru nodded. My master wants to use this immortal jade paste to refine pills. If I can refine it, I will be able to start my 7th tribulation. I can give it to you, but master must agree to refine a scarlet prison heavenly saber for me and also marry you to me. Zhuo Luqian laughed loudly and said. Chapter 1109. Jade Falling Stone Ningong Shuru bit her lower lip. Her eyes were filled with grief and helplessness. It is clear that she wants the immortal jade paste very much. Now Qin Yin also understands why so many seniors fought over the immortal jade paste. Xian Xian said, If we use it, the effect is not guaranteed. If it's given to Nangong Shuru's master, things might not be the same. Everyone could see that Nangong Shuiru was considering whether she should agree or not. Mr. Zhuo, I can ask my master to refine a Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber for you, Nangong Shuru said in low voice. As for marrying you, I will have to discuss this matter with master first. Shuiru, don't discuss it with your master. She'll definitely agree to it. Now, she's just a little bit away from breaking through. Zhuo Luqian raised the immortal jade paste in his hand and said with smile, How about you tell your master to come here, and we can talk about it later. Nangong Shuiru lightly nodded, then took out a sound transmission magic tool and sent a sound transmission to her master. Xian Xian touched Qin Yun's arm and said, Your beauty will be snatched away by someone. Aren't you going out to say a few words? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I have no relationship with Nangong Shuiru. Shui Wu said, Qin Yun, Nangong Shuiru is already Zhuo Luqian's woman. Even if you like her, you won't be able to snatch her away. You should just stay with Yufeng and Shui Dai. Oh, what do you mean? Could it be that you think Shui Dai and you Feng are very weak? Xian Xin said in a very unhappy tone. Qin Yun asked, "Who is Nangong Shueru's master?" Shui Jioming said, "She is my big sister." Ah, Qin Yun was somewhat astonished. Let's see if that damned old woman will sell her little disciple for the celestial jade paste. Xian Xn lightly sighed and said, "Nangong Shueru is so pitiful. She is such a good beauty. Zhuo Luqian is such a shameless person." Xian Xen patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said with smile, "Qin Yun, Nangong Shueru is truly very good. Are you willing to part with her?" The auction continued. Nangong Shueru sat there in a daze. She lowered her head and did not say a word. That appearance was also very distressing. Nangong Shueru was nurtured by her master. It can be said that without her master, she would not be who she is today. Therefore, she valued this kindness very much. Yi Yaoshue and Gu Qiufei are advising Nangong Shueru not to accept Zhuo Luqian's proposal. The reason why Zhuo Luqian is willing to spend so many star coins to buy the immortal jade paste is because he has calculated everything. This way, he could make up for his mistake of damaging the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber, and he could even pick up a peerless beauty. The auction house continued to sell some old antiques. Qin Yin could tell at a glance that those ancient magic treasures were all scams. Not many of them were good, but they could all be sold for billions. Soon, the auction came to an end. It was almost over, and many people were cheering up, because the last item must be the finale. Sure enough, a 1-meter-long dark green stone appeared on the platform. The green light it released illuminated the entire sky like a very bright star. This is green jade falling stone. It is a very good material for refining immortal tools. This is an immortal stone, the auctioneer yelled. Zhuo Luqian also said in loud voice, "My father obtained this green jade falling stone by chance. Back then, he used his Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber to hack it a few times, but he couldn't even leave a mark on it. This is a very precious material for refining immortal tools. If my father did not use his Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber to hack this stone, it would not have been damaged by Qin Yun's saber." Clearly, Zhuo Luqian is selling it. He is now announcing that he is the seller to show off and let everyone know the true value of this green jade falling stone. Zhuo Luqian said again, "Qin Yun, do you dare to let a 6th tribulation half immortal use your saber to hack this green jade falling stone?" Qin Yun said with smile, "My saber is only a king tool. Moreover, it has no runes carved on it. Of course I don't dare." Everyone, did you hear that? Qin Yun is scared. This green jade falling stone is very durable. Zhuo Luqian laughed heartily and said, "The starting price is 10 billion. Everyone can raise the price. This is a material for refining immortal tools. Don't miss this chance." Shui Jioming yelled, "We can't just rely on your words to prove that this green jade falling stone is an immortal tier material. We must test it. If you want to see it, if you want to test it, then come up." Zhuo Luqian is very confident. He looked at Nangong Shueru and said with smile, "Shueru, this is the foundation of our Heavenly Saber sect. Since we are willing to take out this kind of material to auction, it means that we have even more. You are an inscription master. If you marry me, you will never lack refining materials." Nangong Shueru's mood is very low. She is not even looking at the green jade falling stone. She is also completely ignoring Zhuo Luqian. This caused Zhuo Luqian to be very angry. The middle-aged man placed the green jade falling stone on a sturdy forging table. Many holy sects inscription masters took out their forging hammers and started hammering the green jade falling stone. More than 10 6th tribulation half immortal inscription masters knocked on the green jade falling stone one after another, causing rumbling and shaking sounds to resound. Yu Shanbing also hammered the green jade falling stone a few times, then ran over to Qin Yun and said in low voice, "Teacher, this green jade falling stone is truly a good thing. Is it worth selling it? If it is, our Yu family is willing to buy it and gift it to you." Xian Xian's eyes became wide open. When did your Yu family become so generous? Is there some kind of condition? Yu Shunbing said with mischievous smile. The condition is to marry Yu Feng. After hearing this, Shui Wu's expression became filled with jealousy as he said, how could such a good thing happen to him? At this time, Yu family also secretly announced that they want to buy the green jade falling stone as a gift for Qin Yun to marry Yu Feng. Everyone exclaimed in admiration. If Qin Yun marries Yu Feng, not only will he not need to give her a gift, he will also get a green jade falling stone. This is simply a heavenly good thing. Shui clan is also not willing to be outdone. They also want to buy the green jade falling stone. Zhuo Luqian is very unhappy to learn about this matter, because two large families want to buy the green jade falling stone as a gift to Qin Yun. Yu Yongdai said with smile, Teacher Qin, only in your hands can the green jade falling stone shine. Our Yu family will surely buy it and give it to you as a gift. Your Yu family is speaking too early, Shuezh was said with sneer. These two families are going to quarrel again. Holy Assembly also has many large families who want to fight over the green jade falling stone. Qin Yun said, wait, I will go take a look at the green jade falling stone. He feels that since it is likely to fall into his hands, he must go take a look. Yu Yongdai and Shuezhua also followed after him. Qin Yun used Extinction Spirit to look at the green jade falling stone and discovered that there are many small cracks inside it. Xiao Yun, this green jade falling stone is only very hard. If it touches something even harder, it will shatter. It is hard enough, but not tough enough. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun can also see this point and said, I don't want this green jade falling stone. Two seniors, don't waste star coins. This caused everyone to be greatly shocked. Teacher Qin, why don't you want it? Yu Yongdai promptly asked. This? I don't like this color. I like black. Qin Yun said with smile. Although he is saying this, everyone still doesn't believe him. Zhuo Luqian exploded in anger and said, Qin Yun, are you trying to ruin the auction? Are you deliberately saying this to make it so that no one will be able to sell my green jade falling stone? I did not say it is bad. I only said that I don't like this color. Qin Yun said, but you misled everyone and made them think that my green jade falling stone is bad. Zhuo Luqian is very angry because many potential buyers will have misgivings about it. Yu Yongdai said, Teacher Qin, if you see any flaws in this green jade falling stone, please inform us. If someone buys this green jade falling stone at our Yu family's auction and finds out that there is something wrong with it, our Yu family's reputation will be tarnished. Qin Yun said with frown, I'm also not too sure, but I don't like this stone. Zhuo Luqian loudly said, Everyone, Qin Yun and I have enmity. Moreover, his sweetheart Nangong Shuru is about to marry me. He is deliberately retaliating against me. Everyone, don't believe his words. Nangong Shuru's expression is filled with helplessness as she lightly sighed. She is very clear that Qin Yun has no interest in her. He is also one of the most special young men she has ever met. It must be known that in the past, many young geniuses tried to worm their way into becoming friends with her. Not only Qin Yun has no interest in becoming friends with her, he even secretly swindled her. Zhuo Luqian, I will say whatever you want. Why are you dragging Teacher Nangong into this? There is no relationship between Teacher Nangong and me. We are not even friends. We even had a conflict before. It is only because she is a good person that she did not bicker with me. Qin Yun is very angry. He hates people who spread rumors the most. You casually gave her such a precious saber, and you still say there is no relationship? Zhuo Luqian said with sneer. My saber is indeed very good, but I trust Teacher Nangong's character. It is very normal for me to give it to her. But you don't even have basic trust in her, and you still want to marry her? Truly laughable. Qin Yun chuckled. Qin Yun, that's enough. Zhuo Luqian coldly groaned and said, You must clearly explain the matter of this green jade falling stone. Your words just now have affected the price of this green jade falling stone. You will have to take responsibility. Originally, Qin Yun didn't want to talk about the green jade falling stone, but seeing Zhuo Luqian's attitude, he loudly shouted, There are many small cracks inside the green jade falling stone. Moreover, It is not suitable to be used to refine magic tools. Green jade falling stone is very hard but also very brittle. As long as something harder attacks it, it will shatter into pieces. Qin Yun's words reverberated through the entire plaza. This caused many inscription masters to be secretly apprehensive. They originally thought that this green jade falling stone was a very good item, but after hearing Qin Yun's words, they all gave up on the idea of fighting over it. You are talking nonsense. Zhuo Luqian furiously roared at Qin Yun. I can prove what I said. Qin Yun took out his Golden Sun brilliant heaven hammer. This is an immortal tool. It is more than enough to shatter the green jade falling stone. All right, quickly come and prove it. If you can't shatter it, you are dead, Zhuo Luqian said with sneer. Qin Yun looked at Xue Jioming and said, Dean, you can be the witness. You are also strong enough. You could be the witness. Yu Feng and Nangong Shiru both feel that Xue Jioming is in big trouble. Xian Xian glanced at Xue Jioming and signaled him to come over. Xue Jioming took the Golden Sun brilliant heaven hammer from Qin Yun and cursed in his heart because he discovered that it is an immortal tool. Chapter 11:10. Master-disciple relationship. The Golden Sun brilliant heaven hammer has been sprinkled with a layer of black dye by Qin Yun, so it looks dark and swarthy. It doesn't look like a powerful item. Xue Jioming held the Golden Sun dazzling sky hammer and was very clear about its power. Dean, just continue fighting. If you hit the green jade falling stone, it will prove that my green jade falling stone is very hard. Zhuo Luqian said confidently. Young Master Zhuo, what if I break the jade falling stone? Xue Jioming said with smile. You won't blame me, right? Of course not. If you break it, that means there's a problem with my jade falling stone. If there's something wrong with it, you shouldn't sell it, right? Zhuo Luqian's confident expression made Xue Jioming secretly sigh in his heart. Xue Jioming feels that with his sixth tribulation, half immortal strength, and an immortal tool, he will be able to destroy the green falling stone. Everyone move aside, Xue Jioming shouted. There are many inscription masters beside the green jade falling stone. Xue Jioming is worried that if the green jade falling stone explodes, it will injure the people nearby. Everyone retreated to the side and floated in the air. Zhuo Luqian placed his hands behind his back and said with proud smile, Qin Yun, I will soon prove that you deliberately belittled my green jade falling stone. A despicable fellow like you should get lost. A guy like you wants to be with Xue Ru? You're not worthy at all. Xue Jioming raised his Golden Sun brilliant heaven hammer and smashed it down on the green falling stone. He did not use a lot of power, but when the hammer smashed down, it still exploded with a lot of power. Boom! After the jade falling stone was hit, it suddenly exploded and splashed out a green light. Those were all granules that were as small as sand. The jade falling stone had been completely shattered. Zhuo Luqian is dumbfounded. His mouth is wide open and his heart is throbbing in pain. After the group of inscription masters recovered from their shock, they let out all sorts of sounds. This azure falling stone looks good, but it's useless. Mother of Asterisk-Cur, I was almost cheated. How can this material be used to refine magic treasures? The fellows from the Heavenly Saber faction are really sinister. If I spend a lot of money to buy it, I will definitely suffer a huge loss. Luckily, Qin Yun saw the weakness of the green jade falling stone. Many inscription masters are angrily rebuking the Heavenly Saber sect. Selling such a material to an inscription master was tantamount to cheating. Qin Yun landed on the ground with a smile and retrieved the Golden Sun brilliant heaven hammer. Xue Jioming was somewhat reluctant to return it. After all, that feeling just now was very pleasurable. Zhuo Luqian wanted to flip out on Qin Yun, but now he is being criticized by many inscription masters. He wants nothing more than to find a hole to hide in. He was also cursing his father in his heart for tricking him like this. Yu family and Xue clan's people admire Qin Yun even more. The auction is over. Our Yu family's clan meeting is also over. I thank everyone for honoring us. I hope everyone can come again. Yu Yongdai's voice reverberated throughout the plaza. Why is it over? I just got here. Suddenly, an old granny flew over. She wore a white robe and held a black kitten in her hands. She landed beside Xue Jiuming. Master! Nangong Shuru hastily walked over and shouted. Granny Xue, Zhuo Luqian respectfully said. Many people from the Holy Assembly also hastily rushed over to greet Granny Xue. Granny Xue is the #1 inscription master of Holy Assembly. Her prestige is very high. Even Dark Assembly's inscription masters politely greeted her. Granny Xue, my scarlet prison heavenly saber has been destroyed. It was destroyed by this guy called Qin Yun. Zhuo Luqian furiously pointed at Qin Yun and said, What? Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber is one of the 3 most powerful sabers of your Heavenly Saber sect. How could it be destroyed? Granny Xue still doesn't know about the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber. She furiously looked at Qin Yun and said in cold voice, Why did you destroy it? Qin Yun looked at Nangong Shuru and said, It was teacher Nangong who destroyed it. She admitted it herself. Shueru, tell me what is going on. Granny Xue saw that Nangong Shuru's eyes are dodging her gaze and realized that it is true. Nangong Shuru's expression is filled with hidden bitterness as she looked at Qin Yun. Then she slowly explained what happened. At this time, Xin Xin also arrived. It seems like she doesn't get along with Granny Xue. Granny Xue is Xue Jiuming's older sister. She must have opposed Xue Jiuming and Xin Xin being together. Xin Xin also came to help Qin Yun. She is also looking for an opportunity to attack Granny Xue. Xue Jiuming doesn't dare to speak. He looks like he has a headache. Granny Xue doesn't know what to say after hearing the ins and outs of the matter, because Zhuo Luqian was the one who courted death. Your name is Qin Yun, right? Let me take a look at your saber. Granny Xue is very curious about Qin Yun's saber. Here, Qin Yun took out his 9th Heaven Mysterious King saber and very generously handed it over to Granny Xue. Granny Xue saw that the saber looks very ordinary and originally wanted to say some derogatory words. But after she took it, she felt that there was something wrong with it. She firmly held the saber hilt. She wanted to pour in a bit of power to test it, but then she couldn't help but pour in even more power. Now, she has the urge to chop someone. Good saber, Granny Xue exclaimed in admiration. She hastily returned the saber to Qin Yun. She can now understand Nangong Shueru's situation. Qin Yun took back the saber. Zhuo Luqian is very jealous because Qin Yun can truly refine a weapon comparable to the Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber. Xiao Zhuo, you bought the Immortal Jade Paste? Can I take a look at it? Granny Xue asked. Zhuo Luqian hastily took out the white jade pearl like Immortal Jade Paste. He held it in his hand and did not hand it over. He is afraid that Granny Xue would snatch it away. Granny Xue, Shuru should have told you clearly, right? Zhuo Luqian said with smile. I can give you the Immortal Jade Paste, but you must help me refine a Scarlet Prison Heavenly Saber and marry Shuru to you. Nangong Shuru immediately lowered her head. Apparently, she has accepted her fate. Everyone can see that Nangong Shuru doesn't want to be together with Zhuo Luqian, but there is nothing she can do. Granny Xue, I heard from Shuru that you only need a large piece of Immortal Jade Paste to refine a special pill that will allow you to advance by leaps and bounds and reach peak 6th Tribulation half immortal. Zhuo Luqian said again. Granny Xue's eyes are filled with fanaticism as she looked at the Immortal Jade Paste. There are many 6th Tribulation half immortals, but not many can reach peak 6th Tribulation half immortal. This bottleneck is very difficult to break through. Master, if you don't break through, you will die of old age. Nangong Shueru lightly sighed and said, Granny Xue, Shueru is willing. Zhuo Luqian proudly said with smile, Just agree. I will take good care of Shueru in the future. Shueru, I have watched you grow up and nurtured you with all my heart. I treat you like my granddaughter. In my eyes, you are like a beautiful jade. Even if I die, I will not let you be sullied by some despicable person. Granny Xue looked at the proud-looking Zhuo Luqian and said with sneer. The proud smile on Zhuo Luqian's face disappeared. All the 6th Tribulation half-immortals present sighed repeatedly. It must be known that many people thought that Granny Xue would agree to marry Zhuo Luqian, but not only did she refuse, she even expressed her attitude towards Zhuo Luqian. Shuai and Yufeng are secretly envious of Nangong Shuru because Granny Shui did not force Nangong Shuru to marry Zhuo Luqian for benefits. Hearing Granny Shui's words, Nangong Shueru's eyes became moist. She said while sobbing, "But, Master, if you don't break through, you will die." Granny Shui smiled and said, "Die? Resign yourself to fate. If you don't live well, I will also suffer." "Master," Nangong Shueru threw herself into Granny Shui's bosom and burst into tears. This caused many people to be secretly moved. Zhuo Luqian is also somewhat flustered as he said, "Granny Shui, Shueru is willing to marry me. Why are you not willing to make a deal with me?" "Deal? Shueru is a person with flesh and blood. How can I use her to make a deal?" Granny Shui said with sneer. "Zhuo Luqian, you should go back. Don't harass Shueru anymore." Zhuo Luqian furiously said, "Granny Shui, do you know that Shueru wants to be with Qinyan? That bastard has many wives and concubines." "Idiot! Why are you dragging my master into this?" Lu Hanxin shouted. "Bastard! You dare to curse me? I will kill you." Zhuo Luqian's expression is filled with killing intent as he furiously shouted. Shui Wuya and a few other old men hastily rushed out and protected Lu Hanxin. Zhuo Luqian now knows that Lu Hanxin's backer is very powerful. He is not someone he can afford to offend. Qin Yun said with serious expression, "Zhuo Luqian, I already said that I am not familiar with Teacher Nangong. Don't make things up out of nothing. Don't think that everyone is like you, full of evil tricks." "All right," Zhuo Luqian said with sneer, "Granny Shui, the beautiful jade-like Nangong Shuru will be harmed by this bastard, and you won't get anything. Don't you feel that you are losing out?" Nangong Shueru wiped her tears and furiously shouted, "Zhuo Luqian, don't talk nonsense. My relationship with Teacher Qin is very ordinary." Yi Yaoxiwei is very happy to see this because Qin Yun is now being tangled up with Nangong Shuru, Shui Dai, and Yufeng. She wants to see how Qin Yun will come out of the water. Su Xiaoba is also very happy. He said with sneer, "Being a lonely expert is the most correct way. Qin Yun, you are a womanizer. You are not fit to be an expert." Zhuo Luqian took out the immortal jade paste and said to Nangong Shuru, "Whether or not your master can break through depends on you. So long as you agree to marry me, even your master won't be able to stop you." At this time, Yao Fong also finished refining the immortal jade paste. Qin Yin found this somewhat unexpected. He did not expect that the immortal jade paste would be finished so quickly. "Qin Yin, I can only refine 2 per month for you." Yao Fong said, "I can't refine more than that." 2 per month? That's enough," Qin Yin very happily said. Nangong Shuru bit her lips and looked at the immortal jade paste in Zhuo Luqian's hand. It seems like she has made up her mind. If she wants her master to break through, she can only sacrifice herself. "Shueru, even if you agree, I will still oppose it. Could it be that you still can't see through Zhuo Luqian's character?" Granny Nangong yelled. "Master, I suddenly feel that marrying him is not a bad thing." Nangong Shueru lightly sighed. "Granny Shui, did you hear me?" Zhuo Luqian burst in a loud laughter and said, "Shueru, come back with me, and this immortal jade paste will be yours." Chapter 11:11. Mysterious Pill, Formula. Everyone immediately looked at Qin Yun. Zhuo Luqian said with sneer, "So what if you have immortal jade paste?" "The immortal jade paste that Granny Shui needs to be this big. Do you have it?" Most of the immortal jade pastes circulating in the market were very small. The immortal jade paste in Zhuo Luqian's hand was not only very big, it was also very high quality. Generally speaking, the bigger the immortal jade paste, the higher the quality. It was not surprising that Granny Shui would need high-quality immortal jade paste for the pill she wanted to concoct. This is why Zhuo Luqian is so proud of himself. Nangong Shueru lightly sighed and said, "Teacher Qin, the immortal jade paste that master needs must be very big." She searched for it for many years, but to no avail. Everyone nodded repeatedly because such a large immortal jade paste was indeed very rare. This immortal jade paste in my hand is even bigger than the one in Zhuo Luqian's hand, Qin Yun said with smile. Truth be told, the immortal jade paste in Zhuo Luqian's hand was taken out by me. This caused many people to look at each other in disbelief. Zhuo Luqian yelled, Qin Yun, you are lying. That immortal jade paste was clearly not yours. Hearing Zhuo Luqian's words, Qin Yun realized that Zhuo Luqian must know who sold the immortal jade paste. Oh, if it's not mine, who do you think it is? Said Qin Yun with a smile. It's me. It's my father who brought it to the auction, but I couldn't bear to part with it. I also knew that Granny Shui needed it, so I bought it myself. Zhuo Luqian gritted his teeth and said to Nangong Shuru, Shuru, you must not believe Qin Yun's words. He must be trying to deceive you and make you change your mind. Many people cursed in low voice. Zhuo Luqian's father put it up for auction, but he bought it himself. There were some suspicions of him acting as a pawn. This guy must have deliberately raised the price of the immortal jade paste, but then he smashed it in his own hands. Shuezhua said, That must be the case. Fortunately, we did not buy it. Shui Juming said with some anger. Secretly raising the price during the auction was a very bad behavior. Shui Ru, this guy is so despicable. I won't let you marry him even if I die. Granny Shui hastily grabbed Nangong Shuiru's hand and coldly looked at Zhuo Luqian. Then just wait for your death. Shui Ru, she is your master. Do you want to see her die? Zhuo Luqian said with evil smile. Nangong Shuru bit her lips as tears welled up in her eyes. She naturally did not want to see Granny Shui die of old age. Granny Shui is now only missing that lump of immortal jade paste to successfully break through. If she can cross 7th half immortal tribulation, she will be able to go to immortal world. At that time, she will be able to live even longer. Master, I really can't bear to part with you. Let me help you. Nangong Shuiru said while sobbing. Qin Yun sighed. He took out his immortal jade paste and said, Granny Shui, take a look at my immortal jade paste. Is it up to standard? Just as everyone looked over, they saw him tossing the immortal jade paste towards Granny Shui. When Granny Shui saw the white, jade-like pearl flying toward her, she was stunned. Then, she hurriedly caught it. Previously, Zhuo Luqian did not even let Granny Shui touch him. As for Qin Yun, he threw it at Granny Shui like a rock. This is truly immortal jade paste. Its quality is very good. Moreover, it is even bigger. Granny Shui's eyes are wide open as she exclaimed in admiration. Nangong Shuiru is also looking at Qin Yun in amazement. She thought that Qin Yun was deliberately speaking nonsense to prevent her from marrying Zhuo Luqian. She really did not expect that Qin Yun would actually have a very big lump of immortal jade paste. Zhuo Luqian is the most dumbstruck one. He is looking at the bigger lump of immortal jade paste in Granny Shui's hand with dumbstruck expression. Xian Xan poked Qin Yun's waist and cursed in low voice. Why didn't you tell me earlier that you had such a good thing? Shui Wu also cursed in low voice. Qin Yun, you asked us what immortal jade paste is. So it turns out you have such a big lump. You idiot, you actually didn't know? Where did you get the immortal jade paste? I picked it up, Qin Yun said with smile. Yu Yongdai said to Yu Feng in low voice. Yu Feng, how can Teacher Qin have so many good things? You little girl, why didn't you keep a close eye on him? He was snatched away by that little girl Shui Dai. You must take him back. Yu Feng is completely speechless. She said, Grandfather, weren't you opposed to me being with him before? That was before. I don't care. You must marry him. Yu Yongdai said. Shuezhua is also very happy in his heart. He already knew that Qin Yun is not ordinary. Otherwise, he would not have been able to capture his father. Zhuo Luqian, you can go home and take a bath. My teacher also has immortal jade paste. Moreover, it is even bigger and better. Who would want to trash? Lu Hanshun said with smile. Zhuo Luqian wants to cry, but no tears will come out. He has never been so unlucky before. First, his scarlet prison heavenly saber was destroyed, then his green jade falling stone was smashed to pieces. Now his immortal jade paste is useless. Even if he wants to sell it, he won't be able to get as high a price as before. Everyone now feels that Qin Yun is Zhuo Luqian's nemesis. Qin Yun, do you also want Shuiru to marry you? After Granny Shui inspected the immortal jade paste, she handed it over to Nangong Shuiru and told her to return it to Qin Yun. Nangong Shuiru's mood suddenly became a lot better. She feels that marrying Qin Yun is 100 times better than marrying Zhuo Luqian. Of course not. Yu family and Shui clan want to marry their holy daughter to me and even gift her with priceless treasures. You want to marry teacher Nangong to me and still want me to give her immortal jade paste? Isn't this a great loss for me? Qin Yun said with smile. Then again, I am proficient in inscription and tool refining. Why would I want teacher Nangong? She is completely useless. Zhuo Luqian wants to shout loudly. He has used all kinds of methods to obtain Nangong Shuiru, and Qin Yun doesn't even put her in his eyes. Many people who are in love with Nangong Shuiru also want to beat Qin Yun up. But after thinking about it carefully, they all feel that Qin Yun is indeed suffering a great loss from marrying Nangong Shuiru and giving her immortal jade paste. It must be known that Shui clan and Yu family wanted to buy the green jade falling stone as part of Nangong Shuiru's dowry. Su Xiaobai yelled, Granny Shui, Qin Yun is a very greedy person. He wants to exchange for even better things with you, and then kidnap Nangong Shuiru. This way, he will be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Su Xiaobai, you loser, shut up, Qin Yun loudly shouted. Teacher Qin, what do you want to exchange with me? Granny Shui asked. This, we can discuss it in private. You can rest assured, I don't have any designs on teacher Nangong, Qin Yun said with smile. Nangong Shuiru lightly spat. She is completely speechless in her heart. All right, let's discuss it in private. Granny Shui nodded. Shuizhua hastily ran over and said with smile, Teacher Qin, how about we set your marriage with Shui Dai for tomorrow? Wishful thinking. Yi Yongdai is very unhappy. He hastily grabbed Shuizhua and said, Teacher Qin belongs to my family's Yufeng. You Shui clan people should scram. Xian Xian yelled, Teacher Qin, I have ordered a floating island from you. You must deliver the goods on time. Quickly go back and refine the floating island. Yes, yes, yes. Qin Yun hastily said, Granny Shui, come to my floating island and discuss the deal with me. Qin Yun soared into the sky and began flying towards Great Ancient College. Yu Shenbing hastily followed behind him. All right, Granny Shui flew away with Nangong Shuiru. Yi Yaoxue and Gu Qiufei are also following behind them. Teacher Qin, wait. Yu Yongdai pulled Yu Feng and chased after them. Shuizhua also flew away with Shui Dai. Xian Xian and Shui Juming looked at each other and smiled. They brought along Shui Weiwei and Shui Wu so that they don't start fighting inside the college. Everyone sighed endlessly seeing Qin Yun and Zhuo Luqian leave. Zhuo Luqian also let out a furious roar. Who the fuck did I provoke? Why am I so unlucky? Zhuo Luqian gnashed his teeth while looking at Qin Yun's back and furiously left. A group of people have arrived on the floating island. Shui Weiwei, Yu Feng, and Shui Dai are in charge of receiving them. Although it was night, the glowing flowers on the island were very beautiful, making the floating island look gorgeous in the dark night. Teacher Nangong, senior sister Yi, is my good friend, and Xiao Fei is my foster sister. You must give them some pointers in the future, especially Xiao Fei. She is very interested in medicine and pill refining. Qin Yun said with smile. Xiao Fei, Teacher Qin is actually your big brother? Why didn't you tell me earlier? Nangong Shuiru is very amazed. Teacher Nangong, I didn't want to cause trouble for big brother. Gu Qiufei bashfully said with light smile. Yi Yaoxue saw the 9 condensation pagoda and realized why Qin Yun made Yu Feng and Shui Dai follow him. Teacher, I want to stay here for a while. Do you mind? Yi Yaoxue said with smile. Of course I don't mind, Nangong Shuiru said in soft voice. Lu Haqin knows how dreadful Yi Yaoxue is. He feels that he must be even more careful on the floating island in the future. Granny Shui, let's talk inside. Qin Yun brought Granny Shui into the 9 condensation pagoda and closed the door. After entering the pagoda, Granny Shui said, Teacher Qin, I don't understand what I have that can be used to exchange for such a big immortal jade paste. Although your cultivation is not high, you don't lack anything. Qin Yun said with smile, Granny Shui, I don't lack cultivation. I want to quickly increase my cultivation. I want a pill formula. Granny Shui narrowed her eyes and said with chuckle, Is it a pill formula that uses immortal jade paste to refine pills? This pill formula can indeed allow people to quickly break through half-immortal realm. However, the medicinal ingredients required are very precious, and immortal jade paste is very difficult to obtain. I know. Give me the pill formula, and I will give you the immortal jade paste. Qin Yun said with nod. Isn't this a bit too easy? Granny Shui doesn't dare to believe this. What? Could it be that you want me to force you to marry Teacher Nangong? Qin Yun said with smile. I really want Shuiru to follow you. Granny Shui said with mischievous smile. Then she took out a booklet and said, This is the detailed content of the pill formula. You should properly study it. Here. Qin Yun handed over the immortal jade paste to Granny Shui. Very straightforward. Granny Shui said with smile. If you don't understand anything, go find Shuiru. She's always by my side when I refine pills. Qin Yun flipped through the booklet. He is very satisfied with the content and nodded. Chapter 11-12. Local tyrant students Ningong Shuru saw Granny Shui and hastily walked over and asked in low voice, Master, how is it? Granny Shui said with smile. Yu Yongdai hastily walked over and asked, Granny Shui, did you marry your little disciple to Teacher Qin? This is also good. Yufeng will marry Teacher Qin soon. At that time, they will be sisters and we will be family. Family head you misunderstood. Teacher Qin is not that kind of person. Granny Shui said with chuckle. Then what did you exchange? Yu Yongdai is very curious. After all, that is a very precious immortal jade paste. It's a secret, Qin Yun said with mysterious smile. Granny Shui, take care. Wei Wei, escort Granny Shui and Teacher Nangong away. Shui Wei took the flying disc from Xian Xian and escorted Granny Shui and Nangong Shuiru away from the floating island. Family head you, Uncle Shui. There are some things that should be done naturally. Qin Yun said with smile. I am Shui Dai and Yufeng's teacher. I will help them build their foundation and make them even stronger. Teacher Qin, I am relieved to hear that. I was indeed too anxious. Let nature take its course. Yu Yongdai said with smile. Teacher Qin, I will come here often to ask you for guidance when I have time. Shuizhui said with smile. After Shui Wei returned, Qin Yun told her to escort Shuizhui and Yu Yongdai away. Xian Xian, Shui Jioming, and Shui Wu are still here. Teacher Qin, if you have time, come to my small island. It is not too far from here. Shui Jioming said. Senior Xian Xian, this is your floating island. Qin Yun pointed at the sky and released the floating island. Seeing the floating island appear in the sky, all the students on the shore began shouting one after another. After Xian Xian recovered from her shock, she lightly groaned and said, You little demon, didn't you say it was very difficult to refine? This is a half-finished product I refined before. I originally refined it for Yufeng, but she didn't want it. Qin Yun hastily explained. Yufeng, tell me honestly, how much star coins did you use to buy the floating island from him? Don't lie to me. Xian Xian looked at Yufeng. She knew that Xian Xian had spent more than 10 billion. Yufeng had spent 3 billion back then. 10 billion, Yufeng said. She can only help Qin Yun swindle Xian Xian. Really? Xian Xian intently looked at Yufeng. You are lying to me. You were always with me when we were little. I can easily tell that you are lying. All right, 3 billion star coins. Yufeng stuck out her tongue at him. Xian Xian flew into a rage and yelled. You little demon, you actually took 10 billion from me. Shui Jioming frowned and said, Teacher Qin, you are not kind. You lied to us old people. Shui Wu also shouted, Qin Yun, you are too despicable. It would be fine if there was a difference of 1 billion or 800 million, but there was a difference of 7 billion. Hurry up and return the 7 billion to my grandma. Qin Yun coughed dryly and said, Senior Xian Xin, I offered 3 billion to Yufeng, but there are conditions. I want her to become my student and help me raise my teacher's ranking. Moreover, she will also help me guide my students. I want to refine tools. I am very busy, so I can rest assured with her as my capable assistant. Moreover, with Teacher Yufeng in my class, it will be very easy for me to recruit new students. I will earn back the money by recruiting new students. Later, she felt that the floating island was not very useful, so she didn't want it anymore. Let me refine a shield for her, Qin Yun said, and took out a shield flickering with red light. It has the shape of a fire phoenix spreading its wings. It is a set with the blood phoenix nether spear. These are half-finished products. There are no runes carved on them, Qin Yun said with a smile. Xian Xion's anger has also dissipated a lot. She now believes Qin Yun's words. Yu Shanbing and Shui Dai's eyes are shining as they looked at the shield. They really want one. So you're saying that the Blood Phoenix Nether Spear and this shield only cost 6 billion? I will give you 6 billion. Can you help me refine it? Xian Xian asked. I can't. I am giving Yufeng a special price because she is my student. Moreover, she will help me manage my class. Qin Yun said with a smile. Senior Xian Xin, if you want it, I will give you 50 billion each. If you take them apart, they will be worth 30 billion. Black-hearted guy. Xian Xin cursed in low voice. Qin Yun took out 5 talismans and gave them to Xian Xin. He also gave her a flying disc and said, These things will allow you to fly above the holy lake. Oh, that's right. As long as you stand on the floating island, you will be able to control the floating island to fly to wherever you want. Qin Yun, I will see if there's an opportunity to bring you to the Nether Sun Star. We agreed before that as long as I bring you to the Nether Sun Star, you will give me a weapon. Xian Xin said. She is also very impatient to fly to her floating island. Shui Jioming and Shui were also very excited. They laughed and flew to the floating island. Shui was very unhappy when Xian Xin bought the floating island, but now he is very happy. After all, it is very cool to be on a floating island. Xian Xin controlled the floating island to fly away at a very fast speed. Qin Yun and others can hear Xian Xin and Shui Jioming's clear and bright laughter from below. Teacher, when will you start teaching me? Yu Shenbing asked. Junior brother, you still haven't paid the tuition fee. Yufeng said with a smile. How much is it? Yu Shanbing very generously said. Don't hesitate to tell me. 50 billion. Lu Hanshin shouted. It's nothing. Yu Shenbing promptly took out his star coin card and said to Qin Yun with a smile. Teacher, quickly accept my tuition fee. Qin Yun is secretly startled. He originally wanted to say 5 billion, but now it seems like 50 billion is too little. Lu Hanshin cursed himself for not shouting enough. Yufeng hastily added, Junior brother, this is only 1 year's tuition fee. Yu Shenbing said with a smile, I know. Gu Qiufei is very amazed. She used to go from door to door looking for a job just to earn a few thousand star coins a month. But now Qin Yun's student can earn a few billion star coins. Qin Yun took out his star coin card and accepted the star coins. He wants to refine Granny Shui's pill in the future. He will need a great amount of star coins to buy medicinal ingredients. Just like this, Qin Yun gained another student. Xiao Yun, you will be my teacher from now on. How much is the tuition fee? Yi Yaoshu asked with a light smile. 10 billion. Qin Yun said. You really want to charge me? Yi Yaoshu feigned anger in a flirtatious manner. Of course. Qin Yun said with a smile. I won't. Yi Yaoshu said with a smile. Seeing that Qin Yun is not accepting her tuition fee, Yu Shenbing suddenly has the urge to become a woman. Xiao Lu, go call Xiao Bai and Ajie back. Let them meet their new classmate. You must get along well with each other from now on. Qin Yun said. Of course. Lu Hanshan said with a smile. Greetings, senior brother. Lu Hanshan feels that with a classmate like Yu Shenbing, he will be able to go around bragging. Xiao Fei, how are your studies at Granny Moo's place? Qin Yun asked. Granny Moo is very good to me. she very patiently teaches me pill refining. She also frequently brings me to teacher Nangong so that she can give me pointers. Gu Qiufei said with smile. I'm very relieved like this. Qin Yin promised Gu Qiufei's brother that he would properly settle her down. Now it can be said that he has properly settled her down. Shui Weiwei brought Gu Qiufei here to play and asked her to help her plant things. Qin Yun brought Yu Shanbing to a secret room. Since he accepted Yu Shanbing's star coins, he naturally has to teach him some things. After discussing with Yu Shanbing, Qin Yun found out that ancient domains' runes are very lacking. It is mainly because many of ancient domains' outstanding inscription masters are unable to sit still. They flew to the boundless star sea and never came back. Your refining speed is very slow because forging hammers and smelting furnaces are not good enough. Forging hammers and smelting furnaces are not good because runes are too common. How about this? I will teach you some runes, and then you can refine better smelting furnaces and forging hammers. Qin Yin taught Yu Shanbing some runes. Yu Shanbing is wild with joy after obtaining the runes. Qin Yin said with smile, Bing, the runes I gave you are not very good, but they can be evolved. If you have time, you can fuse those runes or use your own comprehension to evolve the runes. I am not giving you good runes because I want you to comprehend and evolve them on your own. This way, you will be more familiar with them. Teacher is right. If I evolve runes on my own, it will be the same as if I personally nurtured them. They will also have feelings, and the finesse of carving runes will be even higher. Yu Shanbing repeatedly nodded. Qin Yun said again, You should stay on the floating island. It will increase your perception. Yes, teacher. After Yu Shanbing left, he took out a large house. It is the house magic tool he refined. After he entered his room, he began to refine the weapon with loud bangs. Teacher, did you refine the chain for me? Shui Dai asked in low voice. I did. Qin Yin took out the chain and said with smile, It is only half-finished product. I was about to carve runes on it when you called me away. Shui Dai is very happy to see the red chain that can change its length and length. Teacher, your refining speed is too fast. Shui Dai said, Ha. It's nothing. Qin Yin called Shui Weiwei and Gu Qiufei over to refine weapons for them. Shui Weiwei is very happy. After thinking about it, she decided to ask for a water ladle that can be used to water flowers, one that can be enlarged. Gu Qiufei asked for a shovel. Both of them are very common. Qin Yin spent more than 10 days refining tools and smoothly handed them over to Yu Feng and Gu Qiufei. At this time, a new month has arrived. Shui Dai can now challenge others. So, she want to find Su Xiaoba. This is also to help Qin Yun probe Su Xiaoba's strength. Wait until I master those king-tier martial arts. I will beat up that blabbermouth Su Xiaoba until his teeth fall all over the ground. Qin Yun is extremely angry because of Su Xiaoba's blabbermouth. Qin Yun fought with Su Xiaoba before. Su Xiaoba must have memorized all the techniques Qin Yun used and even thought of a way to break his defense. Chapter 11:13. Calamity Dragon Qin Yun is practicing martial arts in the 7th floor of the 9 Condensation Pagoda. He found 3 very good king-tier martial arts in the library pavilion. They will allow him to unleash even greater power in battle. Xiao Yun, this guy Su Xiaoba is not easy to deal with. His cultivation is higher than yours. If he studies a method to deal with you, it will be very difficult for you to defeat him with your current cultivation. Ling Yuner said, Yuner, rest assured, even if I can't defeat him, I will let him know that I am not easy to deal with. Qin Yun said with smile, The martial arts I am practicing are very strong. I can surely catch him off guard. Qin Yun found 3 king-tier martial arts in the library pavilion. They are Monarch Roar, Windless Fist, and Myriad Mountains Thunder Seal. They were all miraculous arts and were very difficult to learn, but they would have unexpected effects. Learning martial arts in the Holy Lake can indeed allow one to comprehend them very quickly. Qin Yun has very high perception, and now that he is in the Holy Lake, he can quickly comprehend the 3 king-tier martial arts. Apart from Yu Feng, Yi Yao Xue, Bai Kuang, Yin Tianjia, Lu Hanshun, Xue Weiwei, and other peak martial emperors can also cultivate in the 6th floor. Peak martial emperors need to absorb a great amount of immortal energy. From time to time, they can hear explosions coming from the 6th floor. These explosions are caused by Qin Yun practicing martial arts in the 7th floor. Qin Yun is not only learning new king-tier martial arts, he's also improving old martial arts and comprehending totem martial arts. His totems have all evolved into king-tier totems. This means that he can comprehend even more martial arts. Comprehending totem martial arts is also the most difficult, especially towards the end. It is very difficult to comprehend new totem martial arts. I will now focus on comprehending Heavenly Lion totem martial arts. I should be able to comprehend them faster this way. Qin Yun can only plan this way. The Great Ancient Battle Stage is located next to the Lake of Holy Institute. It is very big and surrounded by high walls. Inside the high walls is the battlefield, and spectators are floating in the air to watch the battle. The high walls are releasing light rays from time to time. It is a very strong barrier. At this moment, Xue Dai and Su Xiaoba are fighting intensely on the 1,000-meter wide battle stage. Su Xiaoba laughed heartily and said, "Xue Dai, you have become a lot stronger, and I have also become stronger." After Xue Dai was carved with totem runes, she became even more dreadful. Many second tribulation half-immortals are not her match. However, Su Xiaoba is also very strong. Although the clothes on Su Xiaoba's body were extremely tattered, one could see black tattoos on his well-built body. He pulled hard and tore off the clothes on his upper body. His upper body was engraved with a black and gold dragon. Is it a dragon totem? This guy didn't have a dragon totem last time, but now he has one. That's not an ordinary dragon totem. Could he have obtained the inheritance of the dragon clan? The spectators in the arena exclaimed one after another. Su Xiaoba roared, and a huge black dragon appeared behind him. The black dragon's scales were black and gold, and the dragon teeth in its mouth were also golden in color. Roar! The huge black dragon roared, and the entire battle stage became filled with dreadful destruction power. Xue Dai's body flickered with red light, and many tree vines appeared. She used the tree totem's power to release these tree vines to protect herself. Boom, boom, boom. The dragon's body trembled, and the destructive power enveloping the dueling ground immediately exploded, creating countless explosions. The dreadful destruction power can even be felt through the barrier. Su Xiaoba is standing on the dragon's head. He howled with laughter and said, "Xue Dai, let your teacher come." I concede. Xue Dai's voice suddenly echoed through the arena. Everyone exclaimed in admiration. Last time, Xue Dai and Su Xiaoba fought to a draw. But this time, Xue Dai actually conceded. The golden black dragon let out a roar and withdrew the mysterious and terrifying power of destruction. Xue Dai is in a very sorry state because of the attack just now. Blood is flowing down from the corner of her mouth. Her red eyes are somewhat dim. It is clear that she consumed too much energy. The dragon that Su Xiaoba summoned also gradually disappeared. I won. Su Xiaoba laughed heartily and said, "Xue Dai, I will fight Qin Yun in 10 more days. At that time, you will see my true strength." Xue Dai has never lost in such a miserable manner before, because she and Su Xiaoba are on the same level. None of the spectators laughed at Xue Dai, because even a second tribulation half-immortal would suffer the same fate when facing Su Xiaoba. Su Xiaoba is a first tribulation half-immortal. Even third tribulation half-immortals would feel great pressure. After the barrier disappeared, Xue Dai hastily flew out of the battle stage. Su Xiaoba's expression is filled with arrogance. He stroked his braid and also flew out of the battle stage. After he flew out of the battle stage, Zhuo Luqian called out to him, "Su Xiaoba, can you kill Qin Yun when you fight him?" Zhuo Luqian asked. Of course not. Su Xiaoba knows Zhuo Luqian. He also knows about the hatred between Qin Yun and Zhuo Luqian. Zhuo Luqian bitterly hates Qin Yun, but he has no way to kill him. Now he can only rely on Su Xiaoba to to find a way to quickly kill Qinyan. Su Xiaoba, are you afraid of angering nether sex Shui clan and you family? Zhuo Luqian wants to provoke Su Xiaoba and said with sneer. Zhuo Luqian, forget about me. Even you might not be able to kill him. We are only competing in martial arts. He can concede. Su Xiaoba said. You are a first tribulation half immortal. Even second tribulation half immortals would be killed by you. Qinyan is just a peak martial emperor. Are you sure you can kill him? Zhuo Luqian's expression is filled with disbelief. He said with sneer, I think you are just afraid of you family and Shui clan's revenge. You idiot, we know. How can it be so easy to kill Qinyan? If you want to kill him, I can give you an idea. That is, if you take out some things as a stake to challenge Qinyan and allow him to use his equipment, he will surely fight you. Of course, you won't dare. Su Xiaoba said with sneer. Why wouldn't I dare? Zhuo Luqian said. Su Xiaoba, how about you help me arrange a fight with him? I don't want to. Su Xiaoba is very unhappy with Zhuo Luqian. He glared at Zhuo Luqian and then flew away. Zhuo Luqian yelled, Su Xiaoba, you became so strong because you received help from Dragon Race. Otherwise, you would not have been able to defeat Shui Dai. Dragon Race is cooperating with our heavenly saber sect. Since you look down on me, I will have them teach you a lesson. If they have the guts, let them come. I am not afraid of them. Su Xiaoba laughed loudly and said, looking at Su Xiaoba flying away, Zhuo Luqian cannot help but loudly curse. He thought that since Qinyan and Su Xiaoba have enmity, he would be able to befriend Su Xiaoba. But Su Xiaoba looks down on him. Su Xiaoba has always been this kind of person. Zhuo Luqian wanting Su Xiaoba to work for him is simply indulging in fantasy. Shui Dai returned to the floating island. Shui Weiwei saw her and anxiously yelled, Sister Dai, what happened? Does it hurt? Seeing how worried Shui Weiwei is, Shui Dai faintly smiled and said, I am fine. Su Xiaoba is too strong. I can't defeat him. Yufeng came out of the 9 condensation pagoda and said with frown, Shui Dai, you still lost to Su Xiaoba. I thought you would win, so I didn't go to watch the battle. Lu Hanshin also doesn't dare to believe it. Shui Dai, teacher should have guided you before. You should have become even stronger, but you still lost. Bai Kuang and Yin Tianjie are also looking at Shui Dai in amazement. Apart from teacher Yufeng, Shui Dai is the strongest among them, but now she has returned in such a sorry state. Yi Yaoshua said, that freak Su Xiaoba is actually this strong. At this time, Yu Xinbing also came out to inquire about the situation. Shui Dai slowly explained the situation of her battle with Su Xiaoba. Dragon Race actually gave such an important calamity dragon totem martial spirit to Su Xiaoba. Yu Xinbing said with tightly frown, teacher will fight Su Xiaoba in 10 days. This is going to be very difficult. That dragon is the calamity dragon? Yu Feng cried out in alarm. This is very troublesome. Quickly report this to Qinyan. Teacher is still in seclusion. Shui Weiwei looked at the 7th floor of the 9 condensation pagoda and said anxiously, Uncle Yu, what is the situation with the calamity dragon? Yi Yaoshu asked. Dragon Race's most dreadful totem martial spirit. Yu Feng's expression is filled with fear as she sighed. It is said that a dragon of the dragon race awakened its totem martial spirit, but that dragon could not control it and was killed by the totem martial spirit. Yu Xinbing nodded and said, later on, the dragon race joined hands with the experts of several great holy sects to seal the calamity dragon totem martial spirit. I did not expect it to be in Su Xiaoba's body. Shui Dai said in fear, I almost died. How did that bastard Su Xiaoba control the calamity dragon totem martial spirit? We must report this to teacher. Lu Hanshan said, I have heard my family elders talk about the calamity dragon totem martial spirit since childhood. It is truly dreadful. It is said that more than a dozen formidable dragons were killed by it. Yu Xinbing looked at the sky and said with grave expression, the place where the calamity dragon totem martial spirit was sealed is a star field in the distant sky. Tens of thousands of stars in the vicinity were destroyed because of it. Shui Weiwei became even more worried. Her adorable little face is filled with anxiety. We must not let teacher fight Su Xiaoba. They must fight. We just need to make him concede. Yu Feng said. You don't understand Xiao Yun. He will not concede. Yi Yaoxue shook her head, then looked at the 9 condensation pagoda and said, maybe he could defeat Su Xiaoba. Impossible. Even I don't dare to fight Su Xiaoba, let alone a peak martial emperor like him. Yu Feng looked at Lu Hanshun and said, Xiao Lu, go and gather some information. Uncle Yu, go back to Nether Sect and find out more about the situation. Find out why the dragon race gave the Calamity Dragon inheritance to Su Xiaoba. Yu Shenbing and Lu Hanshun nodded and left the floating island. Chapter 11:14. Fear of Dragon Calamity. Qin Yun knows that Su Xiaoba is very strong, but he doesn't know that Su Xiaoba has obtained the help of the dragon race and obtained a very powerful totem martial spirit. Inside the 9 condensation pagoda, Qin Yun is very diligently cultivating all kinds of martial skills to prepare for the battle. He doesn't know that many people are paying close attention to the battle between him and Su Xiaoba. Now everyone knows that Su Xiaoba has obtained the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit. This is a big matter that has shaken the entire Holy Assembly, Demon Beast Alliance, and Dark Assembly. Su Xiaoba has not been destroyed by the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit. This caused many people who know about the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit to find it hard to believe. A person who can control the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit must also be very strong. Su Xiaoba is very strong to begin with. Now that he has the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit, his strength has become even more dreadful. Many teachers wanted to test Su Xiaoba's strength, but they had no choice but to concede. These teachers don't dare to fight to the death with Su Xiaoba because they are worried that they will be seriously injured. Not long after fighting Su Xiaoba, they sense the dreadful power within Su Xiaoba's body. They can only concede because if they continue fighting, they might be killed. In just a few days, Su Xiaoba's name has shaken the entire central ancient city. Even many experts from other regions have rushed over to take a look at the legendary Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit. Su Xiaoba doesn't summon the Calamity Dragon unless he meets very strong opponents. Last time he summoned it to fight Xue Dai, it was just a show-off. Yu Feng and others have confirmed from various sources that Su Xiaoba has indeed obtained the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit, and that he is controlling it very well. The time for the battle between Su Xiaoba and Qin Yun is getting closer and closer. Yu Feng is pacing back and forth outside the 9 condensation pagoda and very anxiously said, will Qin Yun risk his life to fight Su Xiaoba? Yu Shenbing said, teacher will surely concede based on the situation. He is only a peak martial emperor. Moreover, he is an inscription master. He is already very courageous to fight a first tribulation half-immortal without relying on equipment. Even if he concedes, no one will say anything. Teacher is really something. Why does he want to fight Su Xiaoba now? If Teacher was also a half-immortal, he would definitely be able to defeat that guy. Shui Weiwei has heard all kinds of rumors about Su Xiaoba these past few days. Some say that the teacher of a second tribulation half-immortal was beaten black and blue by Su Xiaoba. Even third tribulation half-immortals don't dare to fight him head-on. Su Xiaoba is now the tyrant of the great ancient college. Dragon race must have valued Su Xiaoba's potential. That is why they gave the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit to Su Xiaoba. On the day of the competition, the people from a dragon clan will also come. Yi Yaoxue said with sigh. Last time Xiao Yin fought with Su Xiaoba, she was seriously injured and had to lie in bed for a period of time to recover. This time, Su Xiaoba is even stronger than before. With Qin Yun's personality, he will definitely fight with all his might. Yaoxue, can't you persuade teacher? You are his concubine. Xue Dai said. Yi Yaoxue rolled her eyes and said, I'm not his concubine, to be honest. Even if his first wife came, she would not be able to persuade him. Moreover, his wife is a very arrogant and warlike person. If she is responsible, she will surely encourage him to kill Su Xiaoba. Yao Xue, have you seen his wife? Is she also very strong? Yu Feng curiously asked. I have never seen her, but I have seen his wife's little sister. Yi Yao Xue said with smile. That little girl told me all this. If Xiao Yuan were here, she would definitely support Qin Yun in beating up Su Xiaoba. Xue Dai said with sigh. My grandfather and father have been telling me to persuade teacher not to fight, or to make teacher concede from the start. Yu Shanbing said with smile. We should give teacher a bit more confidence. Even I am not Su Xiaoba's opponent. Can Qin Yun really defeat Su Xiaoba without equipment? I don't believe it. Yufeng looked at the 7th floor of the 9 condensation pagoda and said again, that guy still doesn't know about this, right? Xue Juming flew over with Granny Xue and Nangong Shuru. Where's Teacher Qin? Is he really going to fight Su Xiaoba? Xue Juming asked. He is still in seclusion. He doesn't know about Su Xiaoba. Yufeng said. Su Xiaoba has the full support of the dragon race. Nangong Shuru said, Su Xiaoba's teacher is from the dragon race. He is a very powerful dragon. Long Feijin? He is the one who is ranked first. I have never seen him. Yu Feng said with frown. Shuuru, have you seen Long Feijin? I heard that you are stronger than him. He is a 4th tribulation half-immortal. He is stronger than me. I have only seen him twice. He is usually at the Demon B School District. Nangong Shuuru said. Long Feijin is an old dragon. It is normal for him to be stronger than Teacher Nangong. Xue Juming said with sigh. Now we will have to depend on Teacher Qin. I hope he will make a wise decision when the time comes. Everyone should return first. Teacher will surely handle this matter well. It is pointless for us to worry about him. Yu Shenbing said. Everyone can only leave like this for the time being. In 2 days, it will be the day of Qin Yun and Su Xiaoba's battle. Qin Yun has finally come out of seclusion. He is very happy. Seeing Qin Yun come out, Xue Weiwei and other students hastily rushed over and began talking about how awesome Su Xiaoba is. Qin Yun, listen to my advice. Admit defeat from the very beginning. That way, you will keep your promise and won't be injured. Rest assured, no one will laugh at you. Yu Feng said. Lu Hanshan said with smile. Teacher, you are not afraid of being laughed at anyway. Just be a coward when the time comes. What? Qin Yun is completely baffled. He said with frown. Su Xiaoba obtained the dragon race's inheritance and became very strong. Why should I be afraid of him? I have been in seclusion for the past few days. I have also become very strong. Teacher, you have only been in seclusion for a month. How can you compare to Su Xiaoba? He is already a half-immortal. Xue Weiwei pulled Qin Yun's hand and said, Don't fight him with your life on the line. He is too dangerous. I heard that a few 2nd tribulation half-immortal teachers were beaten to a pulp by him. Qin Yun chuckled and said, Many thanks for your concern. Rest assured, this time I will surely beat Su Xiaoba until he cries for his father and mother. That gossipy old fart keeps spreading rumors about me. I will properly teach him a lesson. Teacher, you don't know how dreadful the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit is. Xue Dai very anxiously said. All right then, I will see what happens when the time comes. Qin Yun said with smile. Did any of you encounter any problems in cultivation these past few days? I will take this opportunity to explain them to you. Seeing how Qin Yun doesn't care about Su Xiaoba's strength, everyone feels very tired. Qin Yun has been painstakingly cultivating martial skills, borrowing the mysterious power of the Holy Lake to comprehend many things. He wants to find someone to test him on. How can he give up now? Moreover, he also wants to see how dreadful the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit is. Everyone is very curious as to how Su Xiaoba can control the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit, but Qin Yun does not find it strange. Because Su Xiaoba has the world extermination spirit, it can perfectly fuse with the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit. Xiao Yun, after fusing with the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit, Su Xiaoba's strength will surely increase. But don't worry, I will cooperate with you with all my strength. Even if I can't defeat him, I will still be able to hold on for a while. At least we will ruthlessly beat him up so that he won't talk too much in the future. Ling Yuner said with smile. Yu Xinbing said, Teacher, dragon race people will also come to watch the battle. Really? Qin Yun took out the dragon searching plate and saw that the needle on it is jumping around randomly, pointing to many different directions. It means that there are indeed dragons in the vicinity. Su Xiaoba's teacher is a dragon. He is even stronger than Teacher Nangong. Shui Weiwei said again. I heard that dragon race people are very bad. Is that true? Qin Yun looked at Yu Shunbing and Yu Feng. They must be very knowledgeable about this matter. Dragon race people are always right no matter what they do. In short, they have burned, killed, and pillaged many times. They have also been suppressing our Dark Assembly for many years. Our Dark Assembly has been exposing Dragon Race and Holy Assembly's shady business. Yu Xinbing's expression became very angry when he mentioned Dragon Race. Dragon Race rarely show themselves in public. Now that they have come out to watch Su Xiaoba's battle, it must be an indication of something. Yu Feng lowered her head and pondered. Sect leader is also not showing himself. If he appeared, he would be able to suppress the dragon race's momentum. Shui Dai said with sigh. Yu Xinbing chuckled and said, Teacher is not worried. It is useless for us to worry. Qin Yun glanced at Lu Hanchen and the others and saw that they are still deeply worried. He shook his head and said with smile, All right, I will go into seclusion for 2 days. You should feel relieved this way, right? Qin Yun finished speaking and entered the 9 condensation pagoda again. What is the point of going into seclusion for 2 days? Yu Feng shook her head and said with sigh. After entering the 7th floor of the pagoda, Qin Yun took out the immortal graveyard diagram to contact Xiekiru, but Xiekiru did not reply. He can only take out the devil horn to contact Evil God. Evil God, have you dealt with your problem? Qin Yun asked. I've been sealed. The Evil God cursed. Those guys joined hands to seal me. What? Qin Yun is somewhat startled. Aren't you very awesome? How did you end up being sealed? Those bastards joined hands to deal with me. What could I do? Evil God cursed. Let's not talk about this. Have you heard about the Calamity Dragon? Qin Yun asked. Of course I have. It is one of the most dreadful calamity beasts that appeared during the 9 Suns world extermination. Speaking of which, I and Calamity Dragon have some relationship. Evil God said. Chapter 11:15. Evil gods help evil god is very bored now that he has been sealed. Hearing Qin Yun's words, he became very interested and asked, Tell me about your situation. Evil God also knows that Qin Yun has Nether Sunday. Qin Yun told him about his martial arts, totems, and other things. Your heavenly lion totem should be of some use. Evil God thought for a bit and said again, There's still 2 more days before the battle begins, right? Then I will teach you how to restrain Calamity Dragon and World Extermination power. Evil God, do you have a secret technique to restrain those powers? Qin Yun is pleasantly surprised. Calamity Dragon and World Extermination power is destruction and destruction. This is also a special Tao technique. Evil God said, I am an evil god. I am very good at destruction and destruction. Therefore, I know how to restrain destruction power. There are 2 ways to restrain it. One is to master a stronger destruction Tao technique. Naturally, you won't be able to master it in a short period of time. The main problem is that your body is too weak, otherwise your Nether Sun will be able to release very strong destruction power. Qin Yun is very attentive towards all kinds of power. Evil God is very knowledgeable about all kinds of power. You won't be able to master destruction Tao technique in a short period of time. However, you can use another method. That is to use the power of creation. Evil God said with evil smile, Your Nether Sun can devour. After devouring, it can create. When you fight with that guy, you can try to devour his power of destruction, and then use the devoured power of destruction to create a new power of destruction. This is creation, then destruction. Heavenly Tao law operates like this to maintain the balance. Qin Yin seriously pondered. Ling Yuner has never had this kind of idea before. Evil God said again, Nine Suns world extermination is to create again. You should have realized that although ancient domain has existed for several epochs, it is not as developed as the Nine Sun world. This is because ancient domain lacks the environment of destruction and creation. In short, this process is very complicated. You should comprehend it yourself. Oh, that's right. I will teach you a few mnemonic chants. It will depend on your perception. Evil God also read a few mnemonic chants to Qin Yin. Not only Qin Yin needs to comprehend, Ling Yuner also needs to comprehend because she will be the one controlling the Nether Sun's operation. Qin Yin, I might be sealed for a very long time. If you can find that sacrificial altar and sacrifice it, I might have enough power to break the seal. Evil God said, that sacrificial altar is the evil God sacrificial altar. Sacrifice? What do you want me to sacrifice? Qin Yun said with a frown. Don't tell me you want me to start a massacre? There are two types of sacrifices, a living sacrifice and a dead sacrifice. The purpose of a living sacrifice is to obtain fresh death energy. Let's put it this way. When a living being dies, an invisible force will return to nature. Gods like us can absorb this returning energy through the altar and become stronger. We can heal or recover our strength. I've been besieged by them and am very weak now. I need to make a sacrifice to regain my strength. The evil god slowly explained the function of the altar. What about death's sacrifice? Asked Qin Yin. Death's sacrifice is when you gather the remnant souls of the dead and completely exterminate them on the altar. When these undead are destroyed, they will also have the power to return to nature. But it is very difficult to capture them. Moreover, most of them are very strong and also very evil. Evil God said, I can capture them. I have overwhelming righteous martial spirit. Qin Yin doesn't think that it will be a big problem. In any case, there are all kinds of gods' altars in every world. Later, when you become stronger, I will let you destroy other gods' altars. Many of my altars have been destroyed, causing me to become very weak. I want to ensure your purity, so I won't let you become a living sacrifice for me. If too many of my altars are sacrificed, a great disaster will befall you. Evil God said that many of his altars have been destroyed and became very angry. This must have been done by other gods. Qin Yin now understands that evil God wants him to live for a long time. Qin Yin, if I can break the seal, I will surely give you benefits. It is a fair transaction between us. You help me become stronger. I will also help you become stronger. You should know that not everyone has this kind of opportunity to make an equal trade with a god. The evil god said very seriously, so don't think about getting rid of the relationship between you and me. I don't care about it. But if you lose my protection, you will have many troubles in the future. Qin Yun obtained evil god's help before. It can indeed make him stronger. Evil god, if I slaughter dragons and sacrifice them, will they be very useful to you? Qin Yun asked. Of course, but you will offend Dragon God. Ha ha ha, evil god said with laugh. There are many dragons in ancient domain. Moreover, there are also dragon god altars. The one I set up here was destroyed by the dragon race, making it very difficult for me to find my own altar. Qin Yun immediately recalled the legend of dragon race. Dragon race frequently slaughters humans here. It is very clear that they are sacrificing humans to dragon god. So it means that if I want to find evil god altar, I can only go through dragon race. Qin Yin suddenly thought of a direction. Indeed, if you find the evil god altar, it will also be damaged, but it doesn't matter, you just need to place the devil horn on it. The core of the evil god altar is still there, together with the devil horn. You can sacrifice it to me. It would be great if I had enough power to defeat Su Xiaoba. If I defeat Su Xiaoba, he will become my student, and with his help, dealing with Dragon Race will be a lot easier. Qin Yun muttered. I have a method that can make you stronger in a short period of time, but it will injure you. Evil God suddenly said, find 2 tribulation half-immortals and use my secret method to increase your strength. This method can only be used once. All right, quickly teach me, Qin Yun hastily said. Then Evil God imparted the secret method to Qin Yun. After Qin Yun memorized the secret method, he released Zhang Rong and Yang Chongtian. Both of them were scared by Yao Fong and became very obedient. Now they're doing as Qin Yun says and helping Qin Yun increase his strength. Evil God's secret method is very mysterious. After Zhang Rong and Yang Chongtian used it together, Qin Yun sensed that his nether sun contains a very strong half-immortal power. This half-immortal power is just like his own. It has his own aura, and he can freely control it. He is now a peak martial emperor, but he can already use very strong half-immortal power. Xiao Yun, Evil God said that this method will definitely injure you. You should be referring to the fact that half-immortal power will injure your body. Ling Yun said, your body has been tempered by divine power before. It is not that weak anymore. Qin Yun nodded and then released Zhang Rong and Yang Chongtian back into the pagoda. They are now preparing to cross 7th tribulation with peace of mind, so it is not a big deal to be locked up. Qin Yun has been using Evil God's secret method for the past 2 days and obtained very strong half-immortal power. Moreover, he has also comprehended the profoundness of creation and destruction. The half-immortal power has been sealed inside Qin Yun's nether Sunday. Since it is not much, Qin Yun doesn't plan to use it right from the start. Lu Hanxin and others hastily surrounded Qin Yun after he came out of the 9 condensation pagoda. They saw Qin Yun's determined expression and did not try to persuade him anymore. Let's go to the battle stage. Qin Yun very excitedly yelled and flew towards the battle stage. Yu Feng and others are speechless. They are very worried that Qin Yun will be turned into meat paste by Su Xiaoba. Many people are floating above the battle stage. They are all here to watch the battle. After Qin Yun arrived, he sensed at least 10 dragons. Although they have turned into humans, Qin Yun's perception towards dragons is very sharp. He can sense them in a short while. Yu family and Shui clan's people have also arrived. They saw Qin Yun arrive from afar and immediately surrounded him. They are all trying to persuade Qin Yun not to fight Su Xiaoba. Even Shui Jioming and others came over to persuade Qin Yun to be a bit more rational. Teacher Qin, you are just an inscription master. You are definitely an amateur in battle. Why are you letting your emotions affect your decisions? Why are you competing with a little demon? Admit defeat after you go up. Rest assured, no one from Dark Assembly will laugh at you. Yu Yongdai also said, Teacher Qin, you are a peak martial emperor. You will surely suffer losses fighting a first tribulation half-immortal. Moreover, that guy has obtained the inheritance of the Calamity Dragon. Xian Xin looked at the people on the southern side of the battle stage and cursed in low voice. Those bastards from Dragon Race must be showing off to us. The Dragon Race is the strongest in the great ancient college. Qin Yun can also sense the aura of many formidable demon beasts. These demon beasts belong to Dragon Race. Plus Holy Assembly's people, Dragon Race's power can be imagined. Granny Shui and Nangong Shuiru flew over. Teacher Qin, will you immediately admit defeat when the time comes? Granny Shui asked. Relax, I will surely admit defeat when the time comes. Qin Yun can only lie for the time being after seeing so many people trying to persuade him. Hearing Qin Yun's voice, those people who are very worried about Qin Yun immediately calm down. However, Dragon Race people are very unhappy. If Qin Yun admits defeat from the very beginning, wouldn't they have come here in vain? At this time, a large middle-aged man wearing armor flew over with overbearing aura. Nangong Shiru said in low voice, Teacher Long, what are you doing here? This middle-aged man is Su Xiaoba's teacher, Long Feijin. Qin Yun, you better seriously fight with Su Xiaoba, otherwise you can forget about seeing Xiao Wufeng again. I heard he is your sworn brother. Long Feijin laughed loudly and said. Yi Yaoshua's expression slightly changed. she also saw Qin Yun's gloomy expression. Qin Yun felt that it is very strange because Xie Wufeng has come to Great Ancient College, but he has not seen his shadow. Yi Yaoxue doesn't know where Xie Wufeng is. Qin Yun did not say anything. His face is expressionless as he landed on the battle stage. Many people saw Qin Yun appear and started shouting. Su Xiaoba, where is Boss Xie? Qin Yun asked in cold voice. He and I are in the same class. He was sent out earlier, so I have not seen him. Qin Yun, we are finally going to have a great battle. Ha ha ha, Su Xiaoba said with smile. Chapter 11:16. Dragon of Calamity. Qin Yun guessed that the dragon race definitely knew about his matter in the Spirit Desolate. When they came from a Spirit Desolate, those 9 Suns sect had all joined the sacred sects. They must have told some things to the upper echelons of the sacred sects. The matter of Qin Yun being a soul refining inscription master also reached the dragon race. Most of the seniors in the 9 Suns sect were filled with reverence for Qin Yun. However, the dragon race might not necessarily do so. They might want to obtain Qin Yun's inscription soul refining inheritance. Because in terms of soul refining and inscription, ancient domain is very backward. If their dragon race can nurture outstanding soul refining inscription masters, they will be able to sweep through ancient domain's dark assembly in the future. Su Xiaoba, does the dragon race know about my matter? Qin Yun asked in deep voice. Xie Wufeng's whereabouts are unknown. It is very likely that he has been captured by Long Feizhen. Dragon race attacked Xie Wufeng. Maybe they will also attack Xiao Yuemei and the others. This was what Qin Yun was most worried about. I don't know about that. They want me to defeat you, Su Xiaoba said with smile. Qin Yun, now that I have the Calamity Dragon Totem Martial Spirit, my strength has become even stronger. This time, you'll definitely suffer a crushing defeat. Ha ha. Qin Yun looked at the group of dragon race people and felt that the matter is definitely not that simple. Su Xiaoba, you idiot. You don't even know that you are being used by others. Qin Yun said with sneer. Use? I am now the strongest. I can completely control the Calamity Dragon. Even if they want to use me, they won't be able to use me for long. Su Xiaoba very proudly laughed and said, I am the one who is using them. Qin Yun, I will definitely defeat you and let you know what a true expert is. Qin Yun doesn't know what the dragon race is planning. They must have some ulterior motive for gifting the precious Calamity Dragon Totem Martial Spirit to Su Xiaoba. Right now, he could only defeat Su Xiaoba. Since Xue Jiuming is the dean of the Great Ancient College, he will lead the Great Ancient Institute's people to take charge of the competition. Dean, you must ensure that no one will interfere with this competition. Yu Feng said. Don't worry. Regardless of whether it is the Dark Society or the Holy Society, they will not be able to interfere. Unless you kill us. Xue Jiuming's expression turned solemn. He was also worried about the unexpected situation, especially the dragons of the Dragon Clan. After all, it was rare for the dragons of the Dragon Clan to move out on such a large scale. Therefore, it is not only Xue Jiuming. Even the Yu family and Xue clan's people are very nervous. Open the barrier and check their magic tools. Xue Jiuming yelled. After the spirit formation was opened, the spacious arena was swept by a burst of golden light, checking if they were carrying any treasures on them. After a series of inspections, he confirmed that the 2 of them did not have any magic treasures on them. But Long Feizhen is not at ease. He also took out a tool, landed beside Qin Yun, and began carefully inspecting. Long Feizhen, where is Boss Xie? Qin Yun asked in cold voice. So long as you compete with Su Xiaoba, I guarantee that you will be able to see Xie Wufeng. But the condition is that you must survive. Long Feizhen took out a large mirror, looked at Qin Yun, and said with proud smile, If anything happens to Boss Xie, I swear I will make you pay with your blood. Qin Yun said furiously. Ha ha ha. You will have to defeat Su Xiaoba first. Long Feizhen flew away from the battle stage after finishing his assessment. Xue Jiuming continued to activate more barriers. Su Xiaoba, did you hear just now? Your teacher has captured Boss Xia. Qin Yan said. Qin Yan, relax. After we finish this fight, you'll surely be able to see Xia Wufeng. If teacher doesn't release Xia Wufeng, I will also attack him. Su Xiaoba said. The dreadful destruction aura inside his body has already begun to slowly leak out. Su Xiaoba's eyes gradually turned red, just like the Calamity Dragon. His face also became like a very ferocious Calamity Dragon. He did not summon the Calamity Dragon. Instead, he let it possess his body, making his destruction power even more dreadful. Qin Yan can sense that the power inside Su Xiaoba's body has become a lot stronger than when he was peak martial emperor. Now Su Xiaoba has borrowed the power of the Calamity Dragon to become even stronger. This guy's world extermination spirit and Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit have fused perfectly. Qin Yan hastily retreated. He doesn't dare to approach Su Xiaoba. He is very nervous now. Su Xiaoba is standing there. His aura is unceasingly increasing. Even through the barrier, Qin Yan can sense the vast and mighty Calamity Dragon destruction power. The current Su Xiaoba is a lot stronger than before, Shui Dai said in shock. Even when he summoned the Calamity Dragon, he was not as dreadful as he is now. Xian Xin said. That is because he has fused the Calamity Dragon's power with his body. Su Xiaoba's martial spirit is not simple at all. Moreover, it can fuse with the Calamity Dragon totem martial spirit. Now he is the strongest. Shui Wuya said with frown. How great is the enmity between Su Xiaoba and Qin Yan? Su Xiaoba did not even use such dreadful power when he fought against a third tribulation half-immortal teacher. Yi Yaoshua said with sigh. When Su Xiaoba was a peak martial emperor, he lost to Qin Yan, who was an initial stage martial emperor. That was a great blow to Su Xiaoba. Yi Yaoshua said with sigh. Everyone now somewhat understand what is going on. Nangong Shuiru's beautiful eyes are filled with worry. She said to Granny Shui in low voice, Master, have you prepared healing pills? Granny Shui nodded and said, I have already prepared them. As long as he still has a single breath left, I will be able to save him. Rest assured. Shui Jiuming floated above the battle stage, looked down, and solemnly struck a large gong. Clang dang. The battle has begun. Long Feizhen and more than 10 dragons of the dragon race revealed happy smile on their faces. Zhuo Luqian is standing beside Long Feizhen. His eyes are filled with ruthlessness as he said with smile, Qin Yan is finished. After the battle began, Su Xiaoba did not attack Qin Yan. Instead, he looked at Qin Yan with bloodshot eyes and proudly said, Qin Yan, your cultivation is lower than mine. I will let you attack first. I will stand here. I will not dodge or retaliate. I will let you attack first. Su Xiaoba's cultivation is much higher than Qin Yan's. After all, there is a huge gap between peak martial emperor and half-immortal. He is now willing to take Qin Yan's attack first because he doesn't want people to gossip about him. Qin Yan did not expect Su Xiaoba to be so generous. Xiao Yun, this is a good opportunity. Defeat him in one move. Ling Yuner said, I will do my best. Even if I can't defeat him, I must injure him severely. Qin Yan is very happy in his heart. He hastily urged the power within his body. This is a very good opportunity. He released the half-immortal power sealed inside his Nether Sunday originally. Qin Yan wanted to use Star-Breaking Palm, but just as he condensed his palm power, a sneer appeared on the corner of Su Xiaoba's mouth. Qin Yan immediately retracted the Star-Shattering Palm's power. Su Xiaoba must have been on guard against Qin Yan's Star-Breaking Palm. Xiao Yun, this guy might have researched a way to break Star-Breaking Palm. You're still not familiar with Star-Breaking Palm? Don't use it. Ling Yuner said. Everyone is calmly watching Qin Yan's attack from the sky above the battle stage. Qin Yan inhaled a mouthful of air and closed his eyes. He wants to fuse all the martial arts and cultivation techniques he learned together as soon as possible to release even stronger power. His left arm suddenly collided with Heavenly Lion Arm's aura and let out a deep and low lion roar. Then he used 9 Extinction Heart Sutra to unleash 9 Extinction Emperor power and fused it with Heavenly Might's aura. This will make the power he can unleash even more dreadful. Ling Yuner is also controlling the half-immortal power inside Nether Sun and fusing it with Nether Sun's power. Yuner, do you want to use Life Extinction 9 Steps? Qin Yun asked. Life Extinction 9 Steps is indeed very strong, but if you use it, it will consume 90% of your power. If Su Xiaoba doesn't fall down, you'll be in big trouble. Ling Yuner said with some apprehension. I will use Life Extinction 9 Steps and not Extinction Dragon Palm. If I use both of them together, my arm might break. Although Qin Yun's body is overflowing with a burst of aura, it is being suppressed by him. Therefore, it looks like he is not as strong as Su Xiaoba. Su Xiaoba looked at Qin Yun and howled with laughter. Qin Yun, quickly come over. Let me experience your strongest attack. Qin Yun gritted his teeth, allowed a loud shout, and then took a step forward. His speed is not very fast. He is very rhythmically taking a step forward. Every time he takes a step, his power suddenly increases. After taking 9 steps, he finally could not suppress his aura anymore and suddenly burst out. Boom! The aura burst out and immediately filled the entire battle stage. The people floating around the battle stage are all startled by the sudden burst of aura. They all let out cries of disbelief. Dragon Race, Holy Assembly, Dark Assembly, as well as a large group of powerful demon beasts in human form all have shocked expression on their faces. The power displayed by a peak martial emperor like Qin Yun is actually so dreadful. Su Xiaoba's pupils shrunk as he looked at Qin Yun's 2 fingers piercing towards him. He thought that it is piercing mountain and splitting earth finger that has great penetrating power, but it is not. It is piercing heavenly fingers, exploding heaven finger. Qin Yun's finger was originally piercing towards Su Xiaoba's head, but just as it was piercing towards him, he discovered that his finger is uncontrollably pointing towards Su Xiaoba's abdomen. It is as if some kind of power is pulling it towards him. This guy can actually use this move. Qin Yun is startled in his heart. His 2 fingers have already ferociously pierced towards Su Xiaoba's abdomen. A frantic power burst out, and the space around suddenly fluctuated. It is as if it is about to be torn apart. Rumble. This is Qin Yun's strongest attack. It shocked everyone. Before, everyone thought that a peak martial emperor like Qin Yun fighting Su Xiaoba was a joke. But now, it is not funny at all. The battle stage is filled with tyrannical energy. And Su Xiaoba was sent flying by the heaven exploding finger and crashed into the battle stage's barrier. A large hole appeared on his abdomen. Qin Yun gasped for breath. That Life Extinction 9 Steps is indeed very dreadful. It almost drained all of his energy. Su Xiaoba let out a painful scream, but soon after, his wild laughter reverberated through the heaven and earth. Qin Yun, you have lost. Ha ha ha. Su Xiaoba slowly crawled up. The large hole on his abdomen is quickly recovering. Su Xiaoba's recovery ability has also become stronger. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.